Hello and welcome to episode 39 of Game Patrol. That is one less than 40, which is quite the feat. I'm your host, Landon Plumley, and that young lad over there is my good old buddy Lucas Bakle, back on the show finally. He's made an appearance because he's played a game. And that's
I played a game.
Yeah,
I did.
You
It
did
was
it.
great.
I'm so proud of you. And also joining us today, for the first time ever, is our buddy M to the A to the double T, Matt.
Matt,
Hello. Sorry,
Just
I
Matt.
was adjusting windows on my screen.
I saw your strobe light party going.
It's all good. I literally do
Hello.
that. Like, you can see half my videos. It'll be like, as I'm adjusting, you'll see the light change as I'm going from a Google Doc to like.
Oh yeah,
as
I mean,
an
and you have
article.
glasses, so like
Yeah.
you can always just see what's going on.
There's absolutely no transparency except in the glasses lens.
You're fucking stupid.
I used to wear blue light blocking glasses
Same. That's
when I
what
would
these
be
are.
like using my computer and stuff. Ooh, fancy schmancy.
Mhm.
I lost mine though.
Really, that's sad.
I don't understand how
No.
people lose glasses.
Me neither. I've never lost a pair of glasses.
That's a lie.
I've had them break.
That's a lie. You left your colorblind glasses at my house for like 2 months.
Okay, I didn't lose them. I knew where exactly they were.
That's true.
I just
There's a big difference.
didn't have them.
Hmm.
I forget things. I don't forget where they're at though.
I forget things all the time too.
No.
But
Hey, but you also forget where they're at, so that's the other problem with you.
yeah, I just lose stuff all the time. It's bad. I'm not an organized person.
Matt, not organized? What? That's news to me.
Oh.
Bakle, not organized? What? Landon, not
Um,
organized? The hell? Okay,
I was gonna say.
so
Yeah,
let's
I
get
know
in.
you organized
all
with
not
documents.
organized.
I'm really good at being. I'm really good at organizing how I should organize things. But when it comes to actually organizing things, that's a different story.
It's good in theory.
I make a lot of lists. But that's it.
Hey, lists are great.
I know what I have to do. I just don't do them.
Exactly. Like, if you want me to come up with a to-do list, I got you. If you want me to actually do those things, I don't know about that one, Chief.
I feel that. I feel that.
But anyway, let's start talking about some Vikings, because that's why I got you boys on here today.
Oh,
Because I mentioned last week that there's a certain survival game that has been taking the world by storm. In 8 days, it sold 1 million copies on Steam. In another 5, it hit 2 million. And it currently has the second highest concurrent players for any survival game ever. Ahead of Ark Survival Evolved and Rust, and only just behind Terraria. And it's been out since February 2nd. And that is Valheim.
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 Beautiful, beautiful Valheim.
Yes,
Makes me
so
wish I had more free time.
Yes.
It's absorbed all of my free time.
I play in 10-minute intervals at work, sometimes even on the crapper.
I feel that. I was working today and I was just thinking about Valheim. I was putting security cameras in and I was just like, dang. I wish
Thing
I could
is-
play Valheim.
I know that's true.
when I'm at work,
I was
I think about having fun with you guys. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with. I really don't know what I think about when I was working. Like, I thought it would come to me, but then it didn't. So, you know.
sometimes I think that's some dumb
It's like, oh, there's
stuff.
2 people here. I'll just...
Exactly. I don't have to carry the show this time because now we've got some people. So, you know, I can just
You
rant.
got some people. You're saying you didn't have people before?
No.
It's okay. They don't even watch the podcast anyways.
No, I'm saying that most of the time Justin, I mean, Trace shows up pretty often, but mostly, you know, Justin's been busy, and so I think
No, I know. I mean, they don't watch the podcast. Like Trace and Justin.
know.
I'm sure they don't watch it.
That means you can make fun of them.
Yeah. Justin's a
A little bit.
ginger and Trace is young.
Roasted.
Roasted.
I will say Justin has the most attractive girlfriends I've ever seen in my life. So good job, Justin.
I'll give you that one.
Do you even
Point,
know who
1
Justin
point,
is?
Justin.
Huh?
I was asking Matt. Do you even know who Justin is?
Apparently, he's got some attractive girlfriends, so
One
he
girl
sounds
he
like a
named,
pretty
one
good
girl he
guy.
named, one girl he dated was named Princess. Like, what kind of name is that? First of all.
You're either very attractive or very trashy, or both. I guess you could be both.
I'm not gonna get into that. But let's talk about Valheim.
Just a little bit off topic.
Sorry, Justin.
While
Love you, buddy.
Bakle sips on his wine. And so, yeah. I think, Bakle, you have the most time out of the three of us in the game.
Actually, Matt does, but
Really?
that's all right.
I
By like
had
probably 2 hours, but
I had this last week off.
Gotcha.
yeah,
So
I did not.
it was perfect, dude. The first week I had Valheim, I had a week of not working, so I could just play like all day. It was great.
Okay. Well, in that case, Matt, I'm going to hand you the floor and just give your overall impressions so far of what you think of Valheim. Why should people pay attention to this game? What makes it special? Why is it not just Rust and Ark and yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's different than a lot of survival games, and for two big reasons. Like one, it's because of the combat. Like it has a much better combat system than most survival games. Combat's usually like a secondary aspect of survival games. It's basically just trying to get resources, but it's fun in Valheim. Um, which brings me to the big point. Valheim is just fun. Like the survival aspects, I'm never worried about getting food. I'm never worried about my structure really. I'm never really like worried about surviving just from the nature in the game. It's just fun to go get resources and get some food. Hunting is honestly the most fun I've had probably in just about any game. More so than Red Dead. Um I like I said, it's just a fun game all around. And I don't see that too often in survival games. A lot of time there's grinding and boring parts of those survival games.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really got there with Valheim, mostly. Put an
Yeah.
asterisk on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, given survival games, I mean, grind isn't necessarily like inherently, in them, but the way in which the gameplay, it's like, but I guess a then key to a survival game's success is how it handles grind, and I think to your point, Valheim does a really good job of navigating that in the sense of like, without the constant, thirst or hunger or other environmental things, like when they're there, right? Like you get you use food to restore health, right? So in a sense you get hungry, and like there are certain areas where like you need to have appropriate gear to go to like not freeze or something like that, but it's not so like shoved down your throat that it's it makes it where it's such a challenge to progress in the game. Not that there isn't challenge, but it's at a much more accessible pace. Yeah. But,
yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, getting food is fun. I enjoy hunting in that game. Like sometimes you just need a butt ton of logs and you just gotta chop down a butt ton of trees. Side note, those trees in the game, they're lethal.
Dangerous. You gotta
Like,
watch out.
They
You
honestly,
gotta watch out.
Mm-hmm.
they'll come after you. Like I swear they have like aiming systems built into them.
I don't think it goes that deep, but they might as well.
No, I swear. But yeah, like that would probably be like there's still that grind for resources, but it's enjoyable. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bakle, what are your thoughts on
Yes.
Valheim?
All right. Hold on. Shit. There we are. Okay. So, my thoughts on Valheim. First off, if you just go to the Steam page and you look at it, and like you look at the screenshots, looks like trash. Don't judge it by those screenshots. The game is absolutely stunning. It's one of the honestly like one of the best, like gorgeous looking games I've played in a long time, just because of the lighting effects and
Meanwhile,
the
the
low
lighting effects
poly.
on Matt's camera less than stellar.
Sorry, I opened up a new document and my add-on to make it dark mode didn't kick in for a second.
Yeah, I know. That's funny.
Strobe light. Uh, but shoot. Yeah, the low poly graphics, I was very, very skeptical about because it felt like really like World of Warcraft, and I wasn't a big fan of that. But mixed with like the animations and how smooth everything feels, and like honestly, the textures don't look that bad at all. The low poly doesn't really affect it that much.
It's really grown on
So
me. Like when I first started playing
yeah,
the game, I was
oh
like,
yeah.
"Mm," and
Now it's
now
like
I
one of
love
the
it.
most gorgeous games I've played in like a long time. I feel like.
Mhm.
And like Matt said, the survival aspect is like pretty low key, so I'm not always worried about it, which is a relief from like other games, like even like Minecraft. Sometimes I always have to worry about getting your food and like having the right food mixture or potions to like get your health up. Like this is just low key. Like you eat three things, it adds up to whatever, and that's what you and it like that accumulation of what you ate is what lasts you throughout the day, which makes sense because that's how food works.
Yeah.
And also, the probably my favorite aspect of the game is the building. I love the pieces they give you, and I haven't even gotten the stone. And I like you can like the structures you can just they provide you is amazing, is like awesome and just cool. I've seen a lot of like awesome stuff on the Valheim subreddit. I don't know if like I know Matt's checked out the subreddit, but like
Shout
there's
out
some
to our
crazy,
Valheim.
yeah, our Valheim. The people have built some crazy stuff.
Solid stuff. Solid stuff from you guys.
Mhm.
Uh,
Also, let's talk about the sheer size of the game.
Yeah.
It's
walking.
like I have 32 hours played. 32 hours played. I have about I have 4 worlds, 3 characters. I've played basically all of those on one character in 2 worlds. Uh and on those characters in 2 worlds, I have not even left the first island yet. I don't even know how the rafting system works. I know Matt's played around with it a little bit. But I'm 32 hours in and I have only beaten the first boss twice. And I just feel like there's so much more to explore still. Like I'm still a baby in the game, and
Something
that's
I'm curious about, since you said you beat the boss twice, have you this other time were you solo or like was Matt with you or?
I was with
I've
Matt.
beaten it solo.
But it
Okay.
gave us 3 of the things. So I think it just gives you 3 of them.
Gotcha. Well, one thing I'm curious about is like playing solo, like how much harder that boss fight is because like when the three of us did it, he kind of like switched targets so it made it a little easier. But when it's just you solo, like is he just going to be gunning for your ass the entire
He
time?
also depending like Matt said, the fighting is really cool, and like how it works too is with the shields and like shield and club or shield and other whacking thing. The shield does freaking awesome at like the combat because it will absorb damage, and then you get parry damage on top of the absorb, like on top if you do it at the right time and you hit him back, your damage will be more increased. But also that deer with like the right gear on and the sorry the right gear on and a shield, like you can just block his attacks and not really worry about him too much.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the shield's kind of great.
Yeah.
I love me a good shield.
Yeah, Matt, we just got to the Bronze Age recently, and we're excited to test out all the stuff there.
You're
Interesting.
doing some grinding at work. I saw that today.
Yeah, you did see that. I was pooping at work today, and I was no, yeah, I was no, this one I was pooping, and I was just doing some mining on the toilet, and then because I
That's
can pop
funny you
it out
should.
on my GeForce now.
Nice.
GeForce Now is another great thing.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
oh yeah,
Valheim runs great
GeForce.
on GeForce Now.
Oh yeah, so if you want to play GeForce now, or if you want to play Valheim, you can literally play it on your phone if you have an Xbox controller or even a PlayStation controller. It's just on GeForce now, and it runs beautifully. Especially if you have a 5G phone, you can 5G unlimited data. You can literally play it anywhere.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
and you'll want to because this game will suck hours away from your life.
Yeah.
Hours and hours and hours and hours. It's kind of bad in that sense. Like that would be my one negative complaint with this game is just how much time it ends up using. Like
It is
I just
too
play this
addicting. It makes me play it too much. Bad game.
Yes. Bad game makes me play too much.
Mm-hmm.
I got stuff to do. I'm a busy person.
No, I get that. Like, I think I'm somewhere around like 5 hours in the game, and I'm like all fidgety about it. But that's after like 2 play sessions, or
Yeah.
technically 3. But like, it's literally play until we can't play anymore. Until it's like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed and collapse and all this stuff. Like, I have to go for work or for something else. Like, like we play as much as possible, and I am also a very busy person, so I completely understand that. But I'm hoping to get in some more hours within the next week or 2. But
Yeah,
I
definitely
think
let
we
us
can help
know
with that.
because we have some materials. We could definitely get some stuff going.
good stuff.
What are your thoughts on the game, Landon? You didn't really say. I know we talked a lot, but
Well, we haven't gotten to me yet, okay? We were still
We're getting
talking
to
about
you
you, and so
now.
now it's my turn. It's my time to
Okay.
shine.
hey, go shine it up, bud.
I think that Valheim is good game. All right, so next up, no, I echo you guys' thoughts. Obviously, I've played less, but speaking again to the low poly, like the looks of it. I mean, Matt and I had like plenty of discussions while we were playing about how reminiscent it is of early 2000s PC games. Like for me, all I see is just a prettier looking Witcher from 2007, the original Witcher. And so like I just like it does so in a way that's like what I believe, like if you were to tell me this was a remaster of a like 2002 survival game, I'd be like, that is a dang good remaster right there. Like I would believe you. I'd believe you. Because like yes, it has like the basis with the low poly, but like again, you have the lighting and all this stuff. But in terms of like I guess how the interface works, and like we said, like with the sword, how your cursor, your mouse cursor turns into a sword when like interacting with stuff. It's like little things like that is so reminiscent of that era of PC gaming specifically. Just gives it this nostalgic feel. And I agree, screenshots and video compression and all of that do not do it justice. Like once you get this thing up and running, like on a rig, be it actual or GeForce Now, it just looks so much better. And yes, I know there is video compression in GeForce Now.
It's not a lot though.
But they're different.
Not a lot.
GeForce Now looks really good.
Yeah, I played on my phone, played on my laptop, basically played everywhere, and it like I could run it probably natively on my laptop. It looks better on GeForce Now.
Mm-hmm. And I promise we're not.
You don't even know the difference.
Yeah, we're not. We're not.
Yeah.
We're obviously not sponsored. Look at the.
Although
Yeah.
NVIDIA, my inbox is open.
My inbox is open to literally anybody. I am an email hoe. Please. Anyway. Yeah. Let's be honest here. But yeah, no, I enjoy Valheim a lot, and I'm really looking forward to sinking some more time in because of just the accessibility it offers and the nostalgic feel to it, its aesthetics and gameplay, and it's just it's a lot of fun. As someone like I enjoy survival games, but I'll play it for a time depending on how many friends I have to play with, because I think games like these benefit the more people you have to play with, obviously. Like it can be fun solo, of course, but when you have friends and you're kind of making your own adventures, that's where it really shines. But overall, it's like I'll play them for a little while and then I'll just kind of drop off. But like Valheim is one that I could genuinely see myself keeping on to and playing like all the time, like just consistently playing, like depending on my schedule, just playing as much as time permits, and sort of like what Matt was saying. And So yeah, I enjoy it a lot. And so my next question here is, where exactly do you guys want Valheim to go in the future? Matt, what would you like to see the developers add to Valheim? Where would you like to see them go? What are you looking for? Because this is an early access game. It's not 1.0. And
It
so,
is an early access game, and it's only been early access for 15 days now, so just over 2 weeks it's been out.
mm-hmm.
And uh, it has a really, really good foundation,
Mm-hmm.
a super wide foundation. There's a ton of content that's barely in the game. The
Mm-hmm.
building feels super, super amazing. It feels great, but honestly, the choices you have are pretty limited. You have like two types of walls, two types of ceilings, things like that. One type of door. I mean, I do want to say, remember the early days of Minecraft. We had like 4 blocks to use. So this isn't
And this is
necessarily
early access.
this is early access, and I feel like that's one of the almost easier things to kind of go forward with a game, because you can add more content into a game. Uh, I feel like a lot easier than you can change core mechanics of the game. I mean, we see all of these games, they just keep dumping content into it without fixing issues. But there aren't huge issues with the game that impede my enjoyment at any point. So no matter what I've done between sailing, hunting, building, just exploring, they have these burial chambers that you can run. They're sort of like mini dungeons. Those are fun too. They're pretty challenging, at least where I am still. But bosses are fun. I mean, all of this content is really fun. I just
Is
wish
it
there was
fun?
more of it.
But is it fun?
I think it is. I enjoy it.
On a scale from fun to fun, how fun is it?
Is it fun?
I haven't enjoyed a survival game this much in the first week I had it since Minecraft.
That's a testament. That because
I mean,
Because
Minecraft
No
is the
Man's
best-selling
survival
game of
game.
all time. So that is
No Man's Sky,
yeah.
probably another one of my favorite survival exploration games. It's much better now, guys. I promise. But even then, when it came out, wasn't that great. I didn't play it a whole lot. And a lot of the other survival games, I'll play for a couple weeks, a couple months, and then just kind of get bored because I don't know, you hit sort of like a ceiling. And now, I will say, we still have a couple weeks or months because I've only had the game for about a week now. So we'll see. But so far, I haven't had any headaches. I haven't hit any roadblocks. And that's something I can't say of very many games,
Mm-hmm.
especially in early access.
especially early access. And it has Linux support. Pretty decent Linux support, too, from what I've kind of seen a little bit.
Yeah, for all you super nerds out there.
Hey, I'll always be happy to see more Linux support.
Oh yeah, it needs to be out there for sure.
My understanding of Linux is that it is an operating system that exists.
It's alright, Landon. That's all you really basically need to know as an average citizen. So
That's true.
I'm not an average citizen. I'm a super
Okay.
citizen.
as somebody
Although-
who is in the tech for gaming and for basically nothing else, you don't need to know what Linux is.
Linux is way better than Windows. I will say that. And
Not for
if you
gaming
measure-
though.
Okay.
Yeah, not for gaming.
Every other measurable way. Except for program support, because Windows has kind of got that unlocked.
Isn't
Yeah,
the
they
whole
kinda have
point
a
of
monopoly
Linux
there.
for like programmers?
Programming is a great thing. If you're a programmer, give Linux a try. Even for C#, it's really, once you kind of get used to it, it's really great. It's amazing for everything.
Wait. Did you ever answer Landon's initial question?
Yeah,
Or did you just like go political
Well,
on us?
sort of. He
What was
said
his
he said
question?
that the building about what to go next with Valheim. And like he kind of did, where he talked about how the building materials, like he could use some more.
Well, okay. The TLDR of that whole thing is I think everything feels really solid in the game now. I just want more depth. They went very wide instead of very deep, and I think that was a smart choice because they proved that the content feels good and is enjoyable in the game. And now they can just work on fleshing it out and adding more content into the game. And I, knock on wood, I hope that they can do that. and I hope that they have the will to do that.
So, you want more content?
I want more content. Yeah, I want more.
Bakle, why are you
Like-
so hostile tonight?
Me?
I'm always
No,
hostile.
Bakle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want more like animals
I'm
in the
also on
game.
alcohol.
You knob.
Yeah,
I guess
but-
I never told you guys what's in my water bottle.
Water?
Black tar heroin.
One
water
of you is
bottle.
much closer to the other.
Wait, what?
Well, yeah, I mean, you
It's
two are
much
in...
closer to the...
He couldn't take it. He just...
I know! He made like a face and I just saw him leave. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Now he's below me.
Hello, I'm back.
You're a chicken.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I had a
during my
thing.
stream. I don't
Oh,
do that.
while he's fixing
Hang
his
on,
stuff,
hang on.
I wanted
Wait,
to
wait,
I'm
say...
back. Don't worry.
So did he answer your question yet? I still want to know
Yes,
because like is
I
content
feel- okay, but I understand. Like, you can dumb it down as content, but I understand where he's going with it because he's not just saying content. I think he's just because he's really
I
talking
just have a
about
whole long
like
rant
adding.
about the
Yeah,
content.
this man went on for 10 minutes. Was there much stuff about like of substance? No, not really. But what do you expect? He's Matt.
was stuff of substance? No, not really. That's yeah.
No,
That
I'm
sums
just-
up about everything Matt says. That's beautifully said, Landon.
I got it all out.
Yeah.
You did. I'm
there
proud
were,
of you.
there were
though, for
certainly
that.
words exchanged, and we heard them. And thank
I want
you.
more animals. I want more building materials. I want more building shapes.
Good job.
There you
All right,
go.
I'll take,
That was
I'll
good.
take
That's
it.
my list.
I'll
That was
take
great.
it.
All right. Then once that's out, 10 out of 10 game. Done. That's it.
Solid. A
Solid.
plus.
Just get it out of
$70.
early access 1.0. Go right to it. Okay, but side note that I really wanted to say, but then we just kept on going. No Man's Sky. Did you see? You can have pets now.
Yeah,
You're gonna No Man's
yeah,
Sky?
they just released it like
Like today or like yesterday,
Today,
something like yeah.
I think it was today. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's today.
Yeah.
All right, Valheim might have to take a backseat for a couple days.
Well, not tonight though, bud.
Well, not tonight.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Yeah, but,
But
you can have pets
For the
now.
next couple days, probably, because I'm gonna have to get myself a pet. How do you get? Wait, like, can you tame anything? To be
I don't know
know
if
how
it's
it works.
anything. I just heard someone make a joke about a pet dinosaur, so I don't know if you can do
Well, I
that.
also know, like, because I know there's hostile animals and there's non-hostile, so I'm wondering, like, if they're gonna, like,
Yeah,
probably be able to tame non-hostile animals.
I would assume.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Or maybe, like, hostile animals are significantly harder to tame or whatever.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
I think it's gonna be like Breath of the Wild style, and you have to like jump on their back a bunch of times to tame them.
Yeah. You have to, like, sneak up to them, then jump, then ride them like a bull.
Then calculate for the input lag.
Yeah.
'Cause you're playing on GeForce now,
Hey, honestly, I didn't realize.
which is not. It's not that bad. I'm just making jokes. Like,
Hey.
don't.
I started
disparage
playing the
that.
game on GeForce Now, and then when I played it on native, I didn't realize like I had gotten used to the input lag because it was
Yeah.
always there.
Mhm.
Because it's super consistent, which is super nice. You can get used to it, but I wasn't used to it on
Yeah.
native hardware because it was gone.
Yeah, when
Not
I first
fast,
started
shit.
playing Stadia and there was the input lag, I compared it to like 30 FPS versus 60 FPS, where it's like on when Doom on Switch that runs at 30, where it's obviously not as great as if you were to play it on other systems, but you get used to it. Like if that's like the only way you play, and if it's consistent, you get used to it. And I feel like input lag is the same way. As long as it's consistent, you can kind of like time it. As long as it's not terrible, you know. If it's reasonable.
You know, all in, when I play games on like GeForce Now or even Shadow, I'm normally sitting about 30 milliseconds ping for the streaming, and then usually about 15 to 20. So I mean, all in, you're looking about 40 to 50 milliseconds of ping, usually.
Mhm.
And honestly, I remember a time we were trying to get like 100 milliseconds round trip ping was a thing. You know,
Mhm.
like I think people are almost a little spoiled these days.
For
I
sure.
don't realize how good game streaming is.
I mean, right when GeForce Now launched, I was playing back when it was still on the service. I was playing Overwatch with mouse and keyboard, and I was
Oh yeah, I remember
fine.
that.
no input lag, like no
Well,
like
the mouse and
visible.
keyboard was better than the controller input lag on GeForce Now somehow. Like Stadia did not know what the fuck they were doing apparently
Yeah,
because
because I tried
like
mouse and keyboard on Stadia. It's not good.
yeah, it's really bad. Like it was like 3 or seconds before you would like actually feel it move. It was terrible. But GeForce Now was like perfect right away.
Yeah, like right out the
I-
gate.
I was like,
I
okay,
use-
GeForce Now.
Yeah, I use Shadow to play Call of Duty, and Shadow, I love you guys. You're a great service, but it's probably the worst streaming service. Like outside of like stream or Steam and home streaming or something stupid like that. But even that, like I can play Call of Duty, and obviously I'm not like a professional esports player or something like that. But most of the time, probably about 90+% of the time, it's not. I don't notice it at all. Like I forget that I'm playing on a virtual machine, in someone else's data center. GeForce Now significantly better than Shadow.
Also, I'd like to let the audience know that this man owns a 3070 and he's using streaming services to play
Yeah,
his PC games.
It's further away than I thought it would. I thought it was
Still in the
further.
box though.
It is because I need a 3600 or not a 5600 or a 5800X. So if any viewers have one, the box is open.
Like 6 viewers. Woo!
What can I say? We just hit 50 subs on YouTube.
What?
I have
There
some
you go,
Spotify
bud.
listeners, surprisingly. I don't honestly check the podcast service metrics all that often, but I checked it for the first time in a while, and like low key was going off a little bit for a while there, and I didn't even notice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I
Good stuff.
mostly just checked the YouTube statistics, and so I didn't realize. I was like, oh, people are actually listening to the audio of this. Cool.
That's pretty good.
My podcast app got rid of all my podcasts.
That sucks.
Have any of them anymore.
No, that suck.
It does really suck. So I've been having to listen to music at work.
Oh, we were talking about Valheim.
So, like I said, Matt, when Bakle comes on, these things last forever because we go off on tangents every 2 minutes.
We're a cool half hour in, and we are on point 2B
Yes.
out of a lot.
Speaking of 2B, I can do 2B.
Yeah, what do you want for Valheim, Bakle? I honestly was about to move on. I completely forgot that neither of us have spoken on this.
I thought you were talking about 2B the character, and I'm like, yeah, you and a lot of other people, bud.
I thought you were talking about Shakespeare.
To be or not to be? No, okay. What I want more of in Valheim, I guess, is I want more content.
Okay, now a 10-minute
Excellently said. All right. So I would also like a fair amount of content.
Okay, but actually, I want more like I hope because they haven't really. At least I haven't seen anything with it. I want more like lore. Like I saw like the bosses and stuff they have, but I want more like story-based lore or like side missions where like I think it would be cool to have like god weapons or something. Like you could like they're around the map. You can go like you find like a map. You go on a quest. Be like I don't know Odin's spear or something like that. It's like you can find the map or solve riddles, and it's like on an island and on your map or on your world somewhere or something like that. You know, or just stuff cool like lore stuff like that involving like the gods and like Viking lore and stuff.
Yeah, that would be really dope. That is so much more original than anything that Matt came up with.
Significantly.
No, but that's an interesting concept, and honestly, I could see that because it's with survival games. Typically, I mean, yes, there is lore, but typically, as it is kind of a create your own adventure scenario, you don't see a lot of it, you know, in standard ones, and so
Yeah.
like different things like that. And I think again the foundation that Valheim has laid for its lore through like the bosses and like all of the different like headstone, those like stones you find with the runes and everything, like, you know, that stuff, it provides some interesting context. But yeah, I'd like to learn more and have some more lore incorporated in, like in that way where it's like it's not, you know, it's not like you're playing an RPG, like it's not, story driven. But if you want to search it out, it's accessible for you and like have some,
More like
rich...
just cool artifacts or like cool armor or something. But like
Yeah.
you don't have to get it. It's just
Yeah, that would definitely be really cool to see.
Just more like dungeon kind of.
Oh yeah,
style
even
kind of
more like
content.
cool, like even cooler, just more like cool art and stuff in the caves, like more
Mhm.
like like gaudy looking caves, like with like this is a Odin cave, this is a Thor cave, this is Loki cave, like stuff like that.
Well, they have the troll caves.
Yeah, they do have troll caves.
Dope. So, what I want in Valheim, I want to be able to dual wield AK-47s and absolutely
Me too.
demolish a wild herd of turkeys.
That's the most like accurate thing I've ever heard about Vikings in my life.
Yeah,
They would
Yeah,
just do a bunch of shrooms and rack up some AKs on their
exactly.
shoulders
I
and just
want,
go to town.
dude. You know what would be super cool though? Like really though, in all seriousness, if
doing
there
a bunch
were
of shrooms and going to town on turkeys.
close. So I think they should add mushrooms to the game that are very similar looking to the mushrooms already there, but have a very, very slight difference. So you technically can pick them out. And
Like the berserker mushrooms.
yes, and they just make you trip out and go nuts. That would
Yeah,
be
like they
really
just give you
dope.
like a big attack buff, and you can like dual wield axes or something.
It's like it gives you a big attack buff, but also like sort of how some games handle it when you're drunk. Like sometimes when you
Oh,
put an input,
yeah?
it won't do it, or like it'll do like the opposite or something. So it's like you're really
Everything's just
strong.
fractals.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're really strong, but you also can't really control yourself. So I just think that'd be really funny.
Well, what if they had like different ones? Like they could have like different effects and stuff like that.
That'd
And
be
you could
awesome.
have one that made you like super strong but uncontrollable, or you had one that like you didn't have a lot of stamina. You just like sprinted everywhere, and like you just could not stop.
I don't know if there's really any precedence with this culturally with like Vikings, but it would be cool to have some sort of like alchemy system of like mixing different like herbs or like mushrooms. I don't really think Vikings did that all that much, so I don't know.
I think like it was more just kind of built into like their like medicine part. Like they had herbalists for like healing and stuff.
Yeah.
But most of like, I guess their like magic alchemy type of stuff comes from like runes. Like all their stuff was like rune based.
Also, I feel like you can suspend a little bit of disbelief with like alchemy and doing like enchantments and stuff like that,
For
as long as
sure.
like the way you're doing it
Yeah, and it's
kind of
not
makes
like
sense. And they could just integrate like maybe like a different table. Like there's already the forge and the workbench and stuff like that. They could just have like or you need like a
Yeah.
cauldron or something like that.
Yeah. I was thinking something like that would be interesting. Do some cool and like similar to like the berserker shrooms, like that would just like buff your character for a certain specified amount of time, give them different sort of attributes. I think that would be kind of neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all for adding like I think especially I mean maybe this is because I'm on a Valheim or Valhalla kick. I just think more mystical stuff would be great. I love the
Yes.
first boss like was really really good, and so I think in terms of continuing to diversify itself from other survival games, I think if they really lean into like Norse mythology and the mysticism, I think that will
Yes.
only seek to like benefit them and further set them apart.
Plus like North whoa.
You'll get there.
Norse mythology is one of the like mythologies I probably know the least about. I only know basically the stuff I know from Marvel movies, which is pretty bad, and I know a little bit from like history, but not
God
a
of
lot.
War.
Yeah, God of War, some just like YouTube videos, but like when it comes to Greek mythology, even Egyptian mythology, I know a lot more about that just because like the books I read when I was younger, and I just think it'd be fun to just learn more through a video game.
You know how cool it would be if like you defeat all the bosses and everything, and then like a giant Loki just plops down on the map and starts terrorizing you. Like
Just
you,
Tom Hiddleston himself.
yeah, Tom Hiddleston just plops on the map, and then you have to fight him, and it's like it doesn't go on for very long. Like you're clearly about to lose, but then all of a sudden he just disappears, and you find out he's transformed into a boar, and he just torments you for the rest of the game.
I believe it. Those four are already
Yeah, he'll
Those
just like
poor
pop up and
already
random-
tricks.
It'll just be
They
a
are
boar with like
jerks.
he'll have like a crown on, and you'll just see him every once in a while, like every like maybe hour of gameplay or so. He'll just pop in and he'll like wreck one of your fences or like just pester you for the rest of the game, and like
That'd be
to
awesome.
varying degrees.
I'd be mad. He just like hits you once and then runs away, and you're just like, ah.
Hit
Yeah.
you once, takes all your stamina away.
Exactly. If you start to run after him, he'll just run faster, so you can't catch him.
Takes your hearts down to 1. That's another good one.
Yeah.
Just tricksters.
Yeah. I think that'd be really,
Really
honestly,
funny.
the more I
Just-
think about it, the more I want this to be a thing.
They have like portals in the game. It would be really funny if like you used it and like you just went somewhere random, like just just randomly on the map. Your guy was just like boop, and the boar's just sitting there oink oink.
It'd be really funny, like like it would transport you like inside the world to a point where it's like half of your body is sticking up out of the ground, and then there's a pickaxe laying like just out of reach.
Dude, I was playing out by myself, and I built too small of a house and got myself stuck because I spawned like through my ceiling, and I had to log in with one of my other accounts and go save myself by deleting the like roof sections, and it worked all out in the end.
That's funny.
All right, so we've talked about Valheim for like 40 minutes now.
Yeah.
So
So yeah.
What's, what's next?
Overall, Valheim, it's okay. We'll see where it goes. But
yeah, we talked about it for 40 minutes. It's
Yeah,
It's
okay.
okay. Yeah, it's all right.
It's
if you have
okay.
an extra $20, just get it. Maybe get it.
maybe
whatever.
wait for a sale, you know? It's but if anything, they're just
sarcasm.
gonna raise the price because they clearly
Yeah,
are not
like,
having
buy
sales
it now.
issues.
Yeah,
Like
just buy it now, anyways. It's a really good game.
it is.
Yeah.
Really solid game.
Basically, if you buy it now, you'll regret it, and you might regret it later if the price goes up, which you probably will because it's still basically Minecraft, like with just pigs and trees and
When Minecraft
dirt
was still in
and-
beta.
Valheim.
It's
It's
basically
like
the same.
Minecraft, but with no content.
it's
heard
Minecraft,
it here
but
first.
11 years later, but with content. I got that late.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
I love
let's
that content.
move on to some other stuff. These fools have been playing a bunch of Valheim. Meanwhile, I have been grinding with a different mustachioed hero, and that hero's name is me. When I've been playing Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. And so, yeah, this is it's an enhanced port from the Wii U. This is like our 17th one. But now I'm pretty sure the only games that haven't come from the Wii U of note are Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, which are in themselves HD ports. And I feel like there's one more that I'm forgetting. Well, Smash, we had Ultimate, so I don't want to count because there's
I know.
also Super Mario Maker, and so we got a sequel. So you know, there's one other that I'll remember an hour from now. But
Mario Kart.
we did get that. We got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does that really count though as a new game?
it's not. That's what I'm saying. Like we got that Wii U game over to the
Yeah.
Oh,
Switch. There are very few Wii U exclusives left on that platform, and it will die, having no impact on the industry whatsoever. I mean, Nintendo Land probably is the biggest like Wii U exclusive still not on any other system. But even the wonderful 101 is on everything now, which is crazy. But anyway, Super Mario 3D World, probably the game people wanted the most from the Wii U era. It was the highest rated besides Breath of the Wild, but that was mostly reviewed on Switch. So like Metacritic score, it was technically the best, but it also had like 7 reviews. So anyway, 3D World. I'll talk a little bit about this because yeah, we've been talking for a while. I'm gonna have a full review up on the YouTube channel today for you guys, tomorrow for me because I'm tired and I've got stuff to do afterwards with these yahoos. And
Oh, yeah.
so,
Valheim.
yes,
I'm a Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yahoo! That's a Mario reference for y'all since we're on the topic. But
Mario.
Some cool stuff here. First off, 3D World's amazing. If you haven't played it and you own a Switch, you have to pick this up. I'm just gonna say that now. It's a phenomenally good game. I personally think it is one of the best Mario games ever made. I think it has some of the most creative level design of any game, period. Like, probably my biggest gripe with the game as a whole is that it kind of doesn't really follow the whole world concept, where, you know, in a Mario game you have like worlds and they're based off themes. Like, you have like the desert world and like the snowy world. There are technically those worlds in this game, but the levels aren't really conjoined in any way. Like, some of them are, but the majority of them are showcasing off some unique feature, which is awesome. I absolutely love that. I'm not really complaining about that. It's just, I mean, the only thing that really makes these worlds is that there's a castle at the end of each one. Otherwise, there's nothing really that connects them. And so that would be my quote-unquote biggest gripe. But I really don't have many issues with this game. It's absolutely fantastic. One of the big things they did that I didn't realize until somebody else pointed it out, they increased the movement speed a considerable amount from the Wii U version. And that's something I honestly forgot about, because the Wii U version is still great, but you move really slow in that game. You move really, really, really slow. And part of it's for precision, because 3D platforming is a lot harder than 2D platforming.
For Matt.
Yeah.
Hey, Super Mario Galaxy, probably the best Mario game to come out of the series.
It is very good.
That's a popular opinion.
You said that in a way that makes me think that's an opinion you don't subscribe to.
That would be true.
I bought 3D All Stars because of FOMO, and I haven't actually played Galaxy on it yet, and I've been meaning to. But where was I going with this? 3D World, really good. You move a lot faster, which is very nice. It's still to the point where you can still be precise with it. You know, it's not like you're moving too fast, but it helps keep the momentum going. Yes, it is very precise. But
How precise?
it's pretty precise. I would say on a scale from precise to precise, it's pretty precise.
All right.
Maybe it could maybe be a little more precise, but I feel like the preciseness it has makes it fairly precise.
Okay, I think you described it precisely. Like, I think we're just about right on topic, kind of about perfectly where we want it.
Precisely where we want it. But but yeah, 3D World, it's amazing. Bowser's Fury, on the other hand, okay, I guarantee what happened here is Super Mario Odyssey came out. The developers.
Hey. I'll be back. You guys have fun with each other for a second.
All right.
Okay, goodbye.
Now that the dead weight is gone, we can.
Oh, here,
I know.
jerks.
Okay, so now that we can really get on with the stuff.
Yeah. Now we can talk trash about him. Look at him. Look at his stupid
Yeah,
chair.
look at
his stupid
God, I really
pants.
don't like that guy.
That's a
He's
stupid
dumb.
chair. And I know he's listening. He's got the headphones up, but those are stupid headphones anyway. Those are stupid. Stupid HyperX. He thinks he's
He
cool.
can't even hear us anymore. He doesn't even know what we're talking about.
I
Maybe
bet he
we're
got-
talking good stuff about him.
I bet he
Yeah.
got those for $20 on Craigslist. Okay, anyway. Oh! Dude, this is an X-rated podcast.
I'm gonna
God,
have to blur that out. Sorry,
Yeah.
advertisers.
man. Anyway, where was I? Oh, Bowser's Fury. So, I guarantee what happened is Super Mario Odyssey came out. And then Nintendo was like, all right, what are we going to do now? And people were like, well, we'll tinker around with some stuff. Then they made a little tech demo, and then Nintendo was like, hey, we need you to stop, because we want Super Mario 3D World to come to Switch, but we need you to put something on it so that we can still charge it $60 and get money. And they said, well, we made this little tech demo, and what if we just like add cats to it? And they're like, perfect, ship it. And
Yes,
so,
cats.
yeah, that is Bowser's Fury. That is literally what Bowser's Fury is. So, I mean, it is essentially if Odyssey and 3D World had a baby, but my biggest flaw with it, it's okay. It is an okay game. It's not bad. It lasts like 3 hours. So it's not particularly long, but it honestly has a fair amount of content, which kind of confused me as I look back because I was like, it's not really like that bare bones. Like, there's a bunch of areas to explore. Essentially, you are fighting this ginormous corrupted Bowser, and you get to turn into like Mega Goku Mario and fight him, which is pretty dope the first time.
Pretty sick.
Not so much the next 4 times you have to do it. And that's my biggest problem with this game. The first hour, super fun. It's like all of the good stuff of Odyssey. You collect cat shines instead of moons, and you are exploring this big open area. You've got the free roam 3D camera. It's basically another 3D Mario game. It's really, really fun. But then instead of making new areas, they're like, yeah, no, go back to the old areas 4 more times to get more shrines and do them in a slightly different way so that you can further progress in the game. And so this is a tech demo they made to try and figure out what they were going to do next, that they then bloated into a 3 to 4 hour expansion for 3D World, which, again, it has some really cool ideas, like for the fact that instead of like in 3D World you can store 1 power up, now you can store 5 of every single power up. So
Holy cow, that's way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, if you want to be Boomerang Mario, just pop one of those suckers out. If you want to be Tanuki Mario, pop one of those suckers out. And you also don't have any lives.
Excuse me.
Get your COVID test. But actually, I just scheduled one because we have to for our university. I think it's tomorrow.
My dad got his first shot last week.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
I heard something about college students being able to get it in February, but I've heard nothing on that, and it's February 17th right now, and still nothing, so I don't know. But
well, I did hear... Well, we won't get into politics.
I mean, I've gotten into politics plenty of times over my YouTube career, but anyway.
That's okay. But... that is kind of definitely a Nintendo thing to do, though.
Yeah, I like it.
Just
I think. I mean, my biggest worry was that it would make things too easy. Of just you have basically not really unlimited access to power ups, but you have a lot more access. You can just like call them out on command as long as you have some and collect some, and also you don't have lives anymore, similar to Super Mario Odyssey, and instead, when you die, you lose 50 coins. However, when you get 100 coins, you get a random power-up put into your bank. So not even necessarily have to like seek out these power-ups. You just collect coins, and then they'll just randomly deposit power-ups into your bank. And so it doesn't, like, I never felt like, I had unlimited access. It towards the later game, where the platforming gets butt ugly difficult, I was like pretty low on power-ups because I was burning through them and then falling into a stupid lava pit and losing it all anyway. And so, yeah, it's a really challenging game, which also, well, towards the end anyway. And 3D World is the same way. 3D World has some like nasty, difficult platforming stuff towards the end, which I respect it for, because for a kid's game, it kicks the crap out of you. I think it's because most children don't get more than like 5 hours into a game. So I'm pretty sure Nintendo's like, yeah, we don't care anymore after this, because no 7-year-old is going to have the attention span to get this far. And
Yeah.
so I kind of
I don't know the attention span, but unless it's a really good game, I don't
I'm
usually
not
beat it.
that great of a platformer, so I really don't play very many of them.
Yeah, you're just a special breed, though. It's all right.
Platforming and rhythm games, not my specialty.
Man, you don't play Dance Dance Revolution?
No, I'm bad at Dance Dance Revolution.
I'm pretty bad too.
Osu?
Geometry
Osu-
Dash wasn't his shit.
No, I never really played
Bro.
Geometry Dash.
Happy Feet game for the Wii? That was where it was at.
I never played that. Guitar Hero, though.
Dude, so basically it was basically Dance Dance Revolution, but instead of
Smart.
stepping, you took the Wii remote and you would go up, down, left, right. It was so stupid, but I loved
That's
it as
pretty
a kid
cool.
because I was like, ah, 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 I'm
Yeah,
staying
I
alive,
could see you
staying
getting into
alive.
it,
And I was having fun swinging around my
moving your
Wiimote.
entire body. Ugh.
Yeah, little chunky me. Who I'm trying.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, I'm like I was like a smaller version of College Schmidt,
I was
right?
about to say,
So you
like,
have
I just think of Schmidt going like that.
that was
It's
me.
alright.
That was chunky old 7-year-old Landon going freaking out, having a ball with Happy Feet for Wii. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Bowser's Fury. It's a tech demo. Overall, my opinion. Again, if you haven't played 3D World at all, this game is a must-own for the campaign alone. If you've already played and you're only really interested in playing Bowser's Fury, or like you just want to see what that's about, there is some fun to be had. Like if you're like a diehard Mario fan, I would say go for it. I think you will have fun, but overall, I don't think it's definitely not worth the $60 if you're looking to just play that. But it's okay. It's okay. But with that, let's get
We're
into
an hour in.
yeah. Let's get into
Well, that's the joke.
yeah.
It's time for the gaming news.
Yeah. Which honestly, I'm going to go in depth in some of this stuff because the first one is a big one and it's the Nintendo Direct. And I want to talk about this for a fat minute because we talked about like a bunch of stuff got announced, some really cool stuff, some stuff I literally could care less about, but I did a live stream reacting to it that I planned like 5 minutes beforehand because I was like, screw it, let's do it. That sounds okay. And so I had a good time. But yeah, let's talk about this Nintendo Direct that just happened very recently. So first off, we got new Smash characters, character slash because it's technically two characters. It's Pyra and Mithra Pyra and Mithra, yeah, Pyra and Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and essentially they're like two fighters that have been packed into one. Like I don't know, we haven't gotten like a super big thing on it, but it seems like they have two completely different move sets and you can freely switch between them at any time, which is really interesting. Pyra is basically like if Byleth was constantly on fire and mixed with Marth, and then Mithra kind of seems like a mix of Marth and Palutena. So it's really interesting. I mean, in terms of like character, I would have liked Dante or Waluigi, but I'm not exact. It's definitely better than Sephiroth. We didn't need another Final Fantasy VII character. So
Waluigi would have been cool.
I still think if it's gonna happen, it's gonna be the very last one. We have
Yeah.
two
You know
more.
what might be a kind of dangerous thing though, unrelated. Well, sort of. Outer Wilds is coming to the Switch.
Yes, one of the things in the Nintendo Direct was that Outer Wilds is coming. I don't believe they gave a date. I think it's just confirmed for summer, if I remember correctly.
I was just reading. I think it just said 2021.
Yeah,
That's the
That's
game
not
where, like,
really.
that's
your
the
space,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's coming to
and
Switch
it
in
like
summer.
procedurally generates every like 20 minutes, I think, or something like that.
Procedurally generates? I don't think it procedurally.
I guess it doesn't. You're right. It reset. Well,
Yeah,
it
time
procedurally
resets.
generates the stuff,
time resets.
like the loot. And
Like
stuff
you have like a certain amount of time to do certain things.
Yeah,
And, like
and
you,
then
you can only do a certain amount of things in a certain amount of time. So you have to like just explore and just keep doing things. And, yeah, you figure it out.
but having that on a Switch.
Fantastic though.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you can have it on a Switch. You can carry it with you. You can pop it out anywhere. I mean, it's a 20-minute game. It resets after 20 minutes. So like lunch break, bam, perfect.
Tell me why Google Chrome is running 36 instances of itself.
That's
Gotta
just
use up all that RAM, bro.
It's using
Google.
100% of my CPU between Discord, Streamlabs, and Chrome.
just close Chrome out. What do you need it for?
That's what I just did.
Oh, well, good job.
Yeah, I know my stuff.
I believed in you.
Did you?
The
You know,
whole time.
I was gonna see how much of my system I was using, and I hit Control Shift Escape, and it just didn't bring up Task Manager.
Why not?
I don't know, it just didn't.
I want to check. if you guys are doing it. 99% C. Oh, I take it back.
Oh, I know why. Because I bet it's over here.
I
I
have
can't.
fucking 7 instances of Steam open. What the fucking shit?
I'm
Whoa.
using about
Sorry,
50% of my CPU and about 40% of my memory.
I didn't mean to curse like that. Just slipped out. I get upset about my
About your CPU usage. It's,
yeah, when Steam goes crazy with it.
yeah.
Dude, Steam sometimes does kind of go crazy. I love Steam. Sometimes kind of go crazy.
You
Steam's
know,
probably some of the most mature software I use, though. It's super good, but I guess it's been around forever now.
yeah.
trying to think it was like
I do feel like
2003.
they need a UI update though. Like
They
I feel like they're
did a
slowly.
big overhaul like a few years ago. Because remember, it used
Yeah,
to be a lot
yeah.
different.
oh yeah, it looks a lot better now. It's still just like the, I guess more like the chatting and like the like communication between people just feels bad. Like compared to
Well,
like Xbox.
Hmm.
the Steam overlay looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Like,
really need to change the Steam overlay.
the
Like the
Steam
basically
overlay,
the home button of like the Steam, they really need to fix because like the Xbox
yeah.
home button is good.
Throwback to Steam machines, dude. You used to get them
Yeah.
for free if you bought a Steam controller.
Oh yeah,
I have a Steam controller.
Steam
Steam
controllers
controllers are
are.
good.
They are
Not for
not.
not for shooters, not for shooters, but for everything else, they are good.
It's nice.
Literally, the only thing they're not good for is first-person shooters.
I like them for like city building games and like base building games because I can play laying on my couch, and it's really good for like games that don't have mouse and keyboard support. So like I would have like a Bluetooth keyboard on my lap for like when I need to
Well,
type stuff in,
my
and then I would use a Steam controller.
my uncle, he uses it for WoW, and
I could.
he's like a crazy WoW guy, but like he says it's perfect because it has a little mouse wheel, and you can also like type on it super easy, and then he
Oh
like
yeah,
you can like all the buttons he can like shift and like do other attacks and like stuff with like the paddles and all the extra options he has there. He
it's
says
honestly a
it's
pretty.
really good for like games like that.
It is kind of weird. I will give it that. It is a little weird. It's a little wonky.
Yeah,
It's a little.
takes a
It's a
little getting
little.
used to for sure, but
But once you do,
I think it's a
good
good
stuff.
controller.
The DualShock 5 controller though.
Hey, you found it.
Yeah, it
Oh,
took
look
me a
at
minute.
that. That's a
There you go. It's a
man.
genuine Steam controller.
That's a relic of a
And
bygone
look,
era.
they did the back buttons first.
And
Remember when I bought that, Landon, and I think we both bought it around the same time actually.
I bought it off of Zion. I like this. Literally, this isn't a used one because he's like, I'm not using this anymore.
Maybe not.
And I saw a product and I was like, oh,
I used it for
I
Rocket
don't.
League,
Ooh.
and I have not used it for Rocket League in a long time, but I still think it's the best Rocket League controller.
how do you like
Don't know where mine is.
There's no right analog stick. Like, how are you?
You don't need it for Rocket League, and plus, if I remember correctly, I never had to use it because all I did was put my thumb there, and all I did was like roll my thumb left or right, and like I didn't even have to like move my thumb. All I did was because it would like register that movement as a flick of the stick.
Interesting.
I have been working on Steam like proper controller support for Minecraft. For my my PlayStation 5 controller, and it supports that. So you can set it so if you push it a little bit, and then it does something different if you push it a lot of bit. So like I have it set so like if you push it a little bit, it holds W, and then if you push it a lot of it, it hits Shift W, so you run.
Interesting.
Steam just has native support for that.
What are we talking about?
Like, what are you talking about in terms of like the run of the podcast?
Like, yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
looking,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
looking
talking
through
about
the
the Nintendo
outline, and I'm
Direct.
like, where are we?
Yeah, we're talking
We're
about
on
the
a
Nintendo Direct.
bro.
Yeah, and we're
Oh,
talking about
that's-
PlayStation controllers on Steam.
Steam's got some good controller support. I was blowing my brother's mind because I was changing the color of the PlayStation controller. I was like showing him like how you can control the desktop and stuff with it and how cool that is. And he was like, yeah, that's cool. But then I was like, look, you can change the color of it. And he was like,
Whoa, light change, go burr.
and then I was like, and it saves the color. So if I connect it to another computer, it's still the same color. And he's like,
Man, I can imagine his face when you plugged in the keyboard to the smart TV.
Dude, he called his girlfriend. He was so excited. Dude, she was like FaceTimed her. He was like, my brother's got a keyboard plugged into my TV. And
It's just Android, buddy.
although I sort of broke his controller because I connected his PlayStation controller to the TV, dude, it would not disconnect it. Honestly, I don't know if he's fixed it. No, wait, I think I just gave him my PlayStation controller. But like, I can't get it to, like, the TV to like stop connecting to the controller. Like, I've honestly even just turned the TV off, and it'll still like can like wake up from sleep and connect to the PlayStation controller. It's so weird.
Well, if we have any IT nerds out there, help us out here. Anyways, we should probably get talking about Nintendo Direct.
I think it's interesting to have, like, because, with Bakle and I, it's like, we have, like, sometimes we can, like, keep each other in track, but when there's a third element to the mix, then it's like if one of us is trying to get back on track, then the other will be starting a conversation with it. And so it's just like 3 times, like, will we hit 3 hours? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, we're all three both pretty good talkers. Like, Matt and I will talk with each other for hours in the garage about nothing, so.
Oh,
We
I know.
are an hour in as well, and we
Yeah.
are
It's a 1.3. Yeah. I'm like thirsty. Like, I need water.
I know, I'm about out of water. I figured this water bottle would be good.
Well, okay, I say we take a quick breather of drinks
Mhm.
because I need to grab my water,
Uh-huh.
and then when I come back
Mhm.
from my water,
Mhm.
we get on track.
Okay.
Maybe
Cool.
we'll try.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Love that. So now that he's gone, let's start
I
talking.
know, we can just ram.
Exactly.
Uh,
But I will get back on track here.
okay, we'll leave him behind. We'll
Yeah.
get through this,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. He doesn't care about Breath of the Wild 2 at all. So we got an announcement that there is no announcement about Breath of the Wild 2. This is not even the first time they did this. Back in, I think it was December, maybe a little earlier than that. Actually, I think it was. I think it might have been the Age of Calamity announcement. They said, yeah, we don't have any news on Breath of the Wild 2. How about Hyrule Warriors instead? This time, they said, yeah, we don't have any Breath of the Wild 2 news, but you'll get some later this year. And here's Skyward Sword HD for Nintendo Switch, which
Did,
I lost my marbles.
didn't they also add like an extension, I guess, DLC for Breath of the Wild?
So they didn't they didn't at least announce any DLC right now. They announced an expansion pass for Age of Calamity, the prequel Hyrule Warriors game. So they did announce that.
Oh, okay. I thought that
That's
was
like
part
yeah.
of Breath of the Wild.
Nah.
It's
My
part of
bad.
the Breath of the Wild lore, but the game is way different.
Yeah, it's a
I
Musou
honestly
game.
never really played Breath of the Wild.
Well, that's because you don't have a Switch. Like a loser.
Hmm.
He just goes.
I
Just made Tina noise.
was about to make fun of Breath of the Wild, but I was like, we'll leave it.
You're in the minority for that here, so I'd best shut your trap.
I know, that's why I didn't say anything.
He knew better.
We are Breath of the Wild stans, alright? Get out of here.
Yeah, we played it when it first came out. Landon beat the game before I even got the game, I think, actually.
Yeah, because it was because I got a Switch that you got one. Because
Yeah,
I got
you-
mine for free. And so I got mine, like, late.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got yours for free. You won yours like a fucking language. Like a crazy person.
Yep. And you were there when I found out we were playing Overwatch. I will always remember that moment. We were playing that one map. It was the one control map with the
The circle in the like
the circle in
there's
the middle. That's like a temple.
Like, yeah, the oh, I think I know. Wait, the tower?
Yes.
Like you get Lucio and you run around like
yes,
the.
because
you
I
run-
was
yeah.
playing as Lucio. And I
Yeah,
remember
that's-
I saw the tweet when after I died, I got a DM from Gabe and he said, "Hey, can you change your profile banner? You won the Switch and I don't want anyone to think it was rigged." And I said, "Bagel, I won a Switch." I will always remember that. But yeah.
that was
I
nuts.
own Overwatch, and I have never even installed it. I didn't know I owned Overwatch until I went and I bought Black Ops Cold War because they're in the same launcher. And that's the only reason I found out that I own Overwatch.
Good game.
Overwatch is an amazing
Never
game.
played it.
It's so good.
Apparently, I've had it,
Hmm.
but never
Right.
played it.
Topic time, guys. Topic.
Yeah.
Marvel Avengers PS.
No, we're still okay. Here's the thing.
Okay.
We're still on the Nintendo
Not
Direct.
on B.
So
Alright,
literally,
go back to A.
Ah.
we're on the third announcement for the Nintendo Direct, and there's like 10 to 15 more.
Oh my
Okay,
god,
there's
dude.
a
You're
ton
never
of
gonna be
stuff
done
right
with this
now.
podcast. We are not playing Valheim.
I-
Like I have to be up at 5:00, and it's already 10.
Well, I know. I already kind of have given up on Valheim. I kind of didn't think we were gonna be done in time.
But you know,
But I thought there was stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
yeah,
they added.
yeah. Like Skyward Sword is going to be released on July 16th, 2021. So back on the Wii, right? It only used motion controls. Like that's when they introduced the Wii Motion Plus, so that you
Oh yeah, you could like angle shit.
yeah, you could slash your sword and then you would use your nunchuck as the shield. And so you could do that. How they do it this way, obviously you can use your Joy-Cons, but for Nintendo Switch Lite owners, or if you want to play on handheld, they have added button-only controller schemes. However, a lot of the game deals with you like slashing in certain ways, like cutting in certain, so you can't really be like X to attack, right? So to use your sword, you use the right analog stick. So depending on where you move the right analog stick, you'll slash the sword in that direction.
I just thought you'll like grab your Switch and just like
Yeah.
slice.
Exactly.
Every
You,
time.
you
I was
chuck
gonna
your
say,
switch.
I think require 2 Switch lights that you use independently. You have to hold both of them in your hands.
Yeah, you have to buy a second switch light. You have to like connect them like via LAN and just like yeah.
You gotta like watch what you're doing on one hand while you're trying to like use it as a shield.
You have to buy a you have to buy a Wii remote and nunchuck from the Wii to play the game. And there you go.
God.
You actually have to buy a Wii and Skyward Sword on the Wii, and then you get the Switch version that you play on the Wii.
Made him leave. Oh, and there's the chicken.
Discord crashed again.
What is wrong with your Windows?
Discord.
Man, would it be better if you had Linux? Apparently.
I know he's running Windows.
I don't actually know because really
Do you,
I
you want to
haven't
finish that
really
thought? There you
done
go.
much on this server.
Matt
or
doesn't
this
like to
Windows.
finish.
Well, I was thinking about like what I have done on this installation of Windows because I like reinstall Windows like usually every other month.
Yeah, just because you break it somehow.
Dude, it just makes it run so much. Dude, a new install of Windows is
I
so
know.
much better.
I need to do one.
And then I have a PowerShell script that I use to get rid of all the bloatware and stuff on Windows.
You're not done with Nintendo Direct, Matt.
Okay, but here's the thing. Bakle, I've told you this before. These are interesting conversations that are still in the realm of like gaming and like this sort of like yeah it's more geared towards technology, but like as long as we're still talking, like I mean I'm having a good time. Will it take 4 hours to get through? Probably, but
Hopefully people are down to listen for a 4-hour podcast. I mean at work though, I grind through podcasts like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but let's get back on topic for people who don't have 4 hours to listen to a podcast.
All right. So, alongside Skyward Sword HD, They also announced the most beautiful pair of Joy-Con I've ever seen in the universe. They have announced Skyward Sword themed Joy-Con that, this is probably my biggest issue with it. It's the left one is blue and the right one I think is either purple or a really weird shade of blue. And so like they look very similar, but they're not. Like they're obviously different, but they look like they're the same if you just kind of like glance at them.
I bet it's like that royal purple
Here,
and like the royal blue.
I'll put it in the
I bet
Discord
it's like-
chat real quick, and it's going. They're not gonna like this because now they're gonna see stuff, because it's not full screen anymore. So apologize, my video viewers. Everything's fine now. Don't
They
worry.
do look super good. No, that's the way that the sword is though.
What? Yeah.
That's the
No,
way
for
that the
sure.
sword is.
They're modeled after the Hylian shield and the Master Sword. That's why the colors are a little different.
God damn it! I hate how good those look.
I know. They're so good. They're gonna launch alongside the game on July 16th.
I don't even play my freaking Switch ever, but like I want to buy those
They look
really bad.
so good, especially
My
like with
materialistic ass.
especially with Skyward Sword, because literally your left Joy-Con is your shield and your right Joy-Con is your sword.
I know, that's freaking cool.
Like
as
when you
heck.
play the game, the Joy-Cons are literally that. Like,
That's pretty cool.
oh, I want them so bad. I'm gonna get them. They better have a good stock. Like, I don't know with COVID and everything, but they better, because I will purchase them. But yeah, July 16th, cannot wait. Nintendo Switch, Skyward Sword. Heck yeah. Then, at the very, very tail end of the Nintendo Direct, we got Splatoon 3 announced. Something,
I saw that.
yeah, I mean, it's not exactly like super surprising, but it's like compared to other stuff that people want, like I figured this was like maybe midway on the priority chart, but they're just like, yeah, no, it's coming next year, so it's not coming anytime soon. But it looked really dope. They had this bow that kind of reminded me of the bow from Horizon Zero Dawn. So I thought it looks really cool. It can shoot like 3 streams of ink, which is, yeah, it's dope. And there's also like, it looks kind of like Mad Max themed. Like there's like a wasteland now, and
That's kind of sick.
yeah, it's cool.
What about ARMS 2?
ARMS is the best
Listen.
Switch game. The
That's
best
why I
Switch
said
game.
that, because Matt thinks that to his heart. That
Honestly,
ARMS is the best
ARMS,
Switch game. Like he's not joking when he says that, Landon. Like take that seriously.
when I was gonna buy a Switch, I was basically gonna buy a Switch for ARMS. Like that was the game that drove me to get a Switch. And then they just were like, no, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not gonna buy a Switch.
So
ARMS
Um,
died.
ARMS is
but-
actually a really underrated game. I agree. I don't think it's the best Switch game, but I do think it is a good game. However, I feel like the biggest flaw with ARMS is the developers weren't committed to supporting it. And so after it kind of like fell away, they just kind of gave up on it, which is why
Well,
I
it'll-
don't imagine we'll get an ARMS 2. I mean, maybe.
Well,
I don't want to say it's impossible, but
I don't think so.
They
but
just
it
kinda
did
gave up.
do pretty well in Japan. It did much better in Japan than it did in the States.
I think it's what it
still
had best
mo-
going for it was launch. I mean, it came out when there weren't a ton of Switch games, so I think that
Mhm.
helped a lot.
But
I
back to Splatoon. Honestly, I saw Splatoon 3 announced, and I guess I didn't realize that there was a Splatoon 2.
It literally came out
Which
in
years, bro?
it came out a few
Well,
Well, I
months
guess a
after the
little later,
Switch.
but yeah.
came out.
I thought
I
This
own
was
it.
the
It's pretty
first-
fun,
I
actually.
thought this was the first Splatoon on the Switch.
No, first Splatoon was on Wii U.
Yeah. It is the second Splatoon on the Switch.
I guess I thought they were the same game, and it was just like a Switch port.
Nah.
Well, the Splatoon is pretty fun though. I
Splatoon
can
is
I can
very
imagine
Splatoon is kind of fun.
I can imagine 3 being better.
In a world where it's like difficult to find, like it's pretty rare for the big 3 to come up with successful new like franchise IPs anymore. I mean, usually you get like one-offs, or God of War 17 or Uncharted 6 and that stuff. Like, it's really cool to see that Nintendo has started a new franchise that started in 2015. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm interested to see how, because I know Splatoon 2, like, I know like you can still play it, obviously, but I know it's like, it's not as big as as a lot of multiplayer games are, and I just can't imagine Splatoon 3 like holding up that player base. There's just so much content out there, and so much like of other
Yeah, but
games that
I
are
feel
like,
like it's the only. I guess I don't really. I'm not too familiar with the Switch games, but the game library, but it's the only big sort of like competitive multiplayer game. Sort of. I don't want to call it a shooter type game
I mean, that's what it
or anything
is.
like,
I mean, it's
but
classified as a
like
shooter, but yeah, it
like
is.
yeah, you don't have Call of Duty or CS:GO or Rainbow Six Siege or anything like that on a Switch, obviously, but you have Splatoon.
Mhm. Well, it's a family-friendly competitive shooter.
yeah,
Oh,
Literally the
exactly.
only one in existence. Like, yes, I know all the kids play Fortnite, but like for those strict parents, like if if their mom, like if they be like, "Mom, I want you to get me V-Bucks for Fortnite. Like, can I play Fortnite?" And then they say, "We have Fortnite at home." And Fortnite at home is Splatoon. And
Yeah,
so, I mean, and
it's
it's really
Nintendo.
good.
It's safe.
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's really fun. But I personally think that this will do very well as long as they don't like mess anything up, because again, Splatoon 2 came at a time when there weren't a lot of people or there weren't a lot of games on the Switch, and people really love that game. And the thing that they did that Arms didn't is they continued to support the game. There are still Splatfests that go on. Like they're continuing to like host events for Splatoon 2. Like
yeah,
there was one just the other like I think there was one um like a couple months ago celebrating Mario's 35th anniversary.
yeah.
So
My phone messaged me about that stuff.
yeah. So like there's still Splatoon 2 events going on, and so they're still supporting it. However, obviously, there's not as many people playing, like they've moved on. And so I think because of that, like that's exactly why they're doing Splatoon 3, because it's for those people. Like yes, they're continuing to support 2, but obviously plenty of people have moved on. But Splatoon 2 was really well received. Like people really love that game. So the people that loved it and moved on will be like, "Oh, here's something new." And so I think as long as, it holds up to the standard that the first two have set, I think it will be really successful because of the pedigree it had. Like now if it was a new IP, it'd have a lot riding on it. But, this is now an established franchise that, has a lot of people's respect. And so,
And
yeah.
not necessarily that this is the reason why it could stand on its own properly, but it's also like you said, it's the only one sort of in the category, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, there's not any other just like competitive shooters on the Switch. And it definitely holds up even against proper shooters on PC or console.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's the only one. So you're gonna capture those fans unless you like just mess it up. Which honestly, like you just put the same game in like a different box, maybe change a couple lines of text, call it a day. Nintendo. That's what they do best. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
EA's up there, but
yeah, but yeah. So Splatoon 3 got announced. It's coming in 2022, and then we got my most anticipated game of the year, Mario Golf Super Rush, was announced for Switch, and it is
Yes.
coming June 25th. That is precisely 9 days. Why is it 9 days? No,
Mario
that's
has
not 9 days.
retired from tennis and moved on to golf.
Yes, exactly. And then he will get into a Tiger Woods situation and have to switch to baseball. That's when we'll get Super Mario Strikers for Switch.
could you imagine like some actual like Mario lore that they put out that puts him in a Tiger Woods situation, so he has to go into baseball?
I honestly started thinking of like uh crap, Space Jam,
yeah,
but
same.
like Tiger Woods and like Nintendo characters.
Well, you see, Tiger Woods was actually supposed to be the star of Space Jam, but then nobody liked him, so they cast Michael Jordan instead.
Michael
Yes.
Jordan was a better option.
I don't know, was Tiger Woods even prominent back when Space Jam came
I
out?
don't I have no idea.
Yeah,
Maybe?
I don't know.
I feel
I
like
think he
Tiger
might
No.
Woods
have been,
was
but
never
like
really.
barely.
I feel like
Yeah.
Tiger Woods was
Not
never
for
really
kids though.
prominent.
He was
Not in the
though.
Looney
He literally had his own video game franchise. Like
Okay, so does Michael Phelps.
the golf game? No, but these were actually like literally if you look at some of the like top rated games of the early 2000s, like literally Tiger Woods PGA Tour was like in the top 20. Like best
Just
games
people
of
are
the
bored.
year, period. Not sports
Okay.
games, just period.
I guess I'm just not a loser who plays golf. So
Think about the selection of games you had back then, though. Like if they had good
Okay.
physics and stuff like that, good game. Like I remember I played that like really crappy card throwing game that used to come on like Windows. I used to play that game for like hours.
Space Cadet 2000.
Space Cadet 2000 was the freaking best too.
Dude, Space Cadet 2000's the best.
You know what that is, Landon? That's the pinball.
Wait, you talking about Windows XP pinball?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Space Cadet
Oh,
2000.
that's what it's called?
That's
I didn't know it had a name. I just called it Windows XP pinball.
no, it's Space Cadet 2000. That's what the like table is
pinball
called.
game.
I have the high score in Mrs. Gavrin's classroom.
I remember that. That was really fun.
Yeah, I think you might have had the one on the other computer.
Yeah, I know
I
I had
think
one somewhere.
I had a high
We
score.
had
on one
like
and
we
you
had a
one on the
bunch of
other.
them like everywhere. We had like a bunch of them in different places. Cause yeah,
Yeah.
good times.
Mhm. But
When it could represent.
I
Yep.
remember, like, 8th grade, a bunch of kids getting in trouble because...
Shut up. Shut up.
there's always two.
Sorry. Yeah, got in trouble because they were setting high scores on, like, the Windows games, and they were setting their initials to ASS. And so the teachers were having to, like, reinstall Windows because they couldn't beat the high score.
No, how to just like clear the.
They
log.
couldn't beat 8th graders at pinball, so they had to reset the OS. That's so good.
Dude, our IT department though was freaking stupid.
It was Mr.
Me and the
Dryer.
IT
That was our
department
IT
at school
department.
had a storied relationship.
That's funny.
My IT department was not a huge fan of me.
I mean, we didn't have an IT department. We really didn't. We had Mr. Dryer. That was it.
Oh well, yeah. I guess at Winnikin we didn't have one though.
Hmm.
And Mr. Dryer, now knowing what I know, didn't know anything.
For sure. But I mean, he was a Republican. What do you expect?
Yeah, yeah. The more I think about Mr. Dryer, the more I'm like, man, he kind of sucked.
Remember when he? Never mind. We were talking about Mario Golf Super Rush. I'll talk to you about it afterwards. But it's a story I think about all the time with Mr. Dryer. But Mario Golf Super Rush is coming on the Switch. It's got a speed golf multiplayer mode. This actually seems really fun. So nobody
That
has
does sound fun.
nobody has turns. You all are just constantly going. It sounds
kinda cool.
It sounds really fun. But yeah, they've got motion controls. There's a story mode where you play as a Mii and you work up the golf ranks. And
Ooh,
That's
so
kind of cool.
yeah,
They added Mii's back. That makes me happy.
that does
Mii's have
make me
been
really
on Switch.
happy.
You dolt.
Well, I thought they got rid of them.
No, they didn't really have them at the beginning. Like they were there, but like they weren't really
You can use them in
utilized.
Smash.
Yeah, because there's the Mii fighters. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're not near as big as they were in the Wii and the Wii U, but they're still there.
Yeah.
They're just
I honestly I miss the like like weird
you
Wii
give
Boy
Matt
that you
a
had.
lot of flack for going like off track, but you just launched into a whole ass Mii discussion.
Well,
I know.
honestly,
I'm sorry, but like this was nostalgic for me.
Yeah. I know.
honestly, I just miss having like little characters you would have like the Mii's.
know. I would like pick them up and like whistle them up and put them in
Bro.
orders like a freaking psychopath, you
the
know?
amount of time I spent in that app. What was it called?
I know.
the Mii
I-
creator.
No, it had
Oh,
a
the-
name.
It was. It was like
Xbox 360 had people too.
What's the Wii? No.
Is it the Mii channel?
Me channel.
Yeah,
That's
Mii
what I think
channel.
that is.
Yeah. I spent so much time in that.
I just
Yeah,
made
and
memes
I
all the
made so
time.
many stupid memes. Like we had Michael
Oh.
Jackson and
Oh, you
Mhm.
just made celebrities. You made just
Yeah.
dumb combinations.
For sure.
All the time.
I had like 3 iterations of me.
Oh,
Like one had like a
I-
beard when
I
I was
would-
like 5.
I would make Mii's of classmates I didn't like, then I would drag them to the very edge of the map so that they would be alone.
I would make characters of people and punch them in boxing.
That's... But yeah.
Sorry, I can just imagine you be like, I freaking hate you, Lucas Strickler.
No, it was Lucas Bakle.
Oh yeah, that's probably honestly true though. We did
Honestly,
not get we did not get along in middle school. I don't believe.
honestly, I might have because I feel like I made a me of Bakle. Because yeah, we weren't friends until high school. We didn't like each
Yeah.
other in middle school.
Nope.
Because I was a
Sat the same lunch
loser
table
and
in
he
eighth
was
grade.
he was the dumb cool kid. Well, he was the annoying kid, but like he was cool. Like he was popular with the dudes, but all the girls hated him because he was annoying, and I just wasn't popular. Period.
They grew on to me though the last year.
Oh yeah, eighth grade, everybody became a family because we're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
we're all gonna leave each other, and then we're gonna go into high school, and oh my gosh, we're growing up, and soon we're gonna be adults and get like our driver's licenses and stuff. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we all got eighth grade was better, but so Super
Sorry,
Mario.
Matt. You weren't there.
No, I was not. I went to the cool kids school.
Oh yeah.
You're busy breaking your neck.
I mean, you
Yes, I
broke your
was.
back.
That's
didn't break
all. That's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
And I just
That's
broke my will to live. Next up.
Yep.
All right, back to games.
There we go. Okay, I want you to hear this name. Project Triangle Strategy was announced for Switch.
Okay.
This is this is made by the people who made Octopath Traveler. Also, an interestingly titled name, but they said it's a temporary title, but they also said Octopath Traveler was a temporary title. So I'm just Square Enix, if you're somehow watching / listening to this, please do not ship Triangle Strategy. That is
No,
perhaps
ship
the
it.
worst game name I've ever heard
No.
in my entire life.
No, it's the
It's
best game.
like,
Square
I'm
Enix,
just-
if you're listening, keep it. It's the best.
That's like they were writing a rough draft for like a paper or something, and like in the title spot wrote like something about triangles, and then like just wrote something stupid down, and they're just gonna forget about it and turn it in. That's how Octopath Traveler became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just programmer who is like, I don't know what to name it. I'm just gonna call it Triangle, and just made some stupid tech demo. And then
That's
Yep.
also you, Matt. Though you just name things like World 1.
hey, my world is world, but I have a resource world too. Then I just gotta get resource, and I have world 2. That's just like a testing world.
They're talking about Valheim.
We are talking about again,
Yeah, and
or
Matt's
Minecraft,
creative. Or Minecraft. That's just like
or anything.
yeah. That's just anytime he goes to name anything, it's just like this is a world.
It's a very functional name.
I
because
am robotic. It's okay,
Can you-
Matt. We love your roboticness.
Yeah, Matt's a robot.
You don't need to get all frou with names.
Frou frou. Never mind, he's just a boomer. I don't need any of that malarkey.
Malarkey.
So basically this is a tactical RPG. So it seems like a mix of Octopath Traveler and Fire Emblem. It actually looks pretty cool. It's got the same art style as Octopath Traveler, so like HD 2D essentially is what they call it. They released a demo today. It's supposed to come out next year. I have it downloaded on the Switch, hoping to try it out maybe tomorrow, sometime before next week. I'll be able to share some thoughts on it. But yeah, there's a free demo available now on the eShop. And so yeah. And then they came out with the most the biggest cock block I think I've seen Nintendo pull. They announced a Star Wars game for Nintendo Switch. It's a free-to-play squad-based online multiplayer game by a mobile
Old
game
Republic?
developer. It's called Star Wars Hunters. So literally the trailer, let me describe the trailer to you. So you're walking down a hall. It's in first person, or it's might not be a person's perspective, but like there's a camera like going down a hall, right? And you see like holograms of stormtroopers and like other Star Wars paraphernalia, and then a door opens up and it's super foggy and you see blaster fire and then you see a lightsaber and then Star Wars Hunters logo. That's it.
really doesn't tell me a whole lot about what
That's
this
like
game
those
is.
freaking those Kingdom of Ages ads they used to have with Kate Upton. Like those ads drove me nuts. Cause it was a freaking mobile game,
Well, here's
and
the
they
thing.
had like
This game is being developed by
yeah,
Zynga, which is a mobile game developer.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like this is basically a mobile game on a Switch. Like I feel
To
like
be fair though,
they're like
this,
I can develop a mobile game, and they're like Switch is basically a mobile like a phone.
I was gonna say, to
Just
be fair, the Switch basically is a mobile phone.
Well,
yeah, I
there are
mean
plenty of mobile games that have come to Switch, like Pokemon Cafe
yeah.
Mix. That's a mobile game, and it also came to Switch.
Do
And
you
so much
think
so.
the new Raspberry Pi could run a Switch emulator?
Probably.
Hang on, because the new Raspberry Pi is kind of crazy.
Matt, we're not doing this right now. We have other things to do.
Okay, you
Also,
keep doing that. I'll look it up.
another thing, Fall Guys is coming to Switch in the summer, so that finally is happening. As we mentioned before, an Age of Calamity expansion got announced. It's very similar to the Breath of the Wild expansion pass in terms of format. So it's 2 waves of content that will be coming in the future. You can pre-order that now. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection was announced for Nintendo Switch, and thank God it subsequently was announced for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, because as much as I love the Switch, I would much rather play this on my PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a remaster of Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. I really love the Ninja Gaiden games. They're really, really hard, but they are very good. 3 is okay. But 1 and 2 are freaking fantastic, and so I'm very excited. That is coming June 10th, and so yeah, getting remasters of all those, which in the Switch's case means probably nothing because it's gonna probably look exactly how they used to on the Switch, but might run better. Maybe like I probably like 60 FPS maybe being the big difference.
Take it with you.
Yeah, you can take it on the go, but it's coming June 10th. Animal Crossing New Horizons is getting Super Mario items on February 25th. So they started showing the trailer, and I was like, all right, time for me to tune out. This looks really cool, guys. Like I would tell you, like, you guys should look up the trailer for it, because like you can put warp pipes down. Like you can literally make your island look like the Mushroom Kingdom. Like there's so many, like there's like full Mario and Luigi outfits.
Added like a lot.
Yeah.
You can
I was
add
just
blocks like
completely
the
tuned
question blocks. Like you can basically transform your island into a Mario world. It looks really cool. Like
that's
this,
pretty
Yeah.
this might actually get me to boot up Animal Crossing again, as someone who played it for 4 hours.
I think I played it for about that long too, and then never played it again. Like I
Like-
binged it for like 2 days, and then I was like, okay, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, it looks. Oh, you can also have thwomps that do fall. Like if you like go under them, they'll try to like fall down and crush you. You can add thwomps. It's dope as hell.
That's beautiful.
You can also add mushrooms, coins. The warp pipes let you travel to different parts of the island, so they basically added like kind of sort of fast travel.
That's kind of sick.
It's so cool. But yeah, so
That's kind of actually super sick, because I kind of honestly tuned out when I saw that headline. I was like, whatever.
yeah. Like they actually went all out with it. Like, cause yeah, when I saw the trailer start, I saw the Animal Crossing logo pop up. I was like, and then this happened. I was like, oh, that actually looks really sick. And so yeah, that's coming soon. The Nintendo 3DS title Miitopia is coming to Switch in May, specifically May 21st. I had no idea of this game's existence, but essentially, it's an RPG that is that features your Miis, which is really cool. Like you can like have your Miis befriend each other, and like if you neglect certain Miis, then they like will treat you differently and stuff. It seems really cool, but yeah, it's an RPG based off of the Miis on your console. And so
that's pretty cool.
yeah, but it was originally on the 3DS, and now it's coming on May 21st with a lot more customization options and stuff. Like they've added some things to it, but it actually looks really cool. I'd never heard of this game before, but yeah, that's coming May 21st. Like we mentioned before, Outer Wilds is coming in the summer. 2 Famicom detective games are coming to Nintendo Switch in 2021. They originally never came out in the U.S. If you don't know, Famicom is what the NES was called in Japan. So they're really old, but they are being like fully remastered, so they don't look old. Like they are like basically remakes of the games, but they're coming, I believe, in March. This doesn't say when, but I think they gave a date like March 13th or something. Samurai Warriors 5 is coming to Switch in the summer. It's another Musou game. I've never heard of this franchise, but apparently there's 4 more of them. But yeah, it's coming in the summer. It has a nice presentation, but it seems like it's a Samurai Musou game. That's what it is. Legend of Mana is getting a remaster. Again, this doesn't have a date, but I feel like they gave one, maybe like May or something. We got a new Monster Hunter Rise trailer. Looks sick. Tales from the Borderlands is coming to Switch March 24th. Might check that out because that's a great game that I haven't played in forever.
Yeah, me
Borderlands
too,
is
actually.
solid. I've been thinking about just playing
Tales of the Borderlands is the Telltale.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty fun too.
I haven't played it yet.
It is a very good game.
Yeah, the finger gun scene is my favorite in any Telltale game ever.
Yes.
Pew pew.
Yes. I don't want to spoil it for you, Matt, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great scene.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it is the most underrated Telltale game by far. I don't necessarily think it's the best. I think The Walking Dead
Walking Dead's the best.
Yeah,
like you can't really beat that.
Yeah, you can't beat the first season of The Walking Dead, but Tales from the Borderlands had a lot of really great stuff that like everybody was focused on, like The Walking Dead and then The Wolf Among Us, and then like once Telltale started releasing like a bunch of games, everything just kind of got like
Wolf Among Us was
out.
also fantastic. I forgot about that game.
We're still getting a sequel because they
really.
Yeah, because they started working on it, then Telltale disbanded, and then Skybound bought them out, and now they're continuing work on it.
Actually didn't know that they got bought back.
So it's kind of a crappy situation because they only have some of the members. Basically, like Skybound revived them. Like technically they didn't buy them back. Like they basically created a new studio and said, "Hey, we're the new Telltale, and any developers that still haven't found a job, you're free to work here, and we'll take all the like." They basically took all of the properties that Telltale had in like when they disbanded, such as Wolf Among Us, and they own the rights now to The Walking Dead and all of their previous games. So like they kind of bought them out, but they also kind of just like were like, "Hey, we're Telltale now." But apparently a lot of the Telltale workers like that talk with them, apparently they weren't impressed by it. Like they're like, "Yeah, this isn't Telltale. Like this is, just their own thing that they're masquerading as Telltale." So I've heard mixed stuff about this new studio, but it is technically back. But
Man,
anyway,
I guess we'll see how they handle Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, we'll see, because they haven't come out with a game yet. I think really the biggest thing they've done, like it's them that's publishing, Tales from the Borderlands on Switch, and they also released like a full like complete series set of all the Walking Dead seasons. That's about the most notable thing they've done since they came into being. But otherwise, they've mostly just been porting old Telltale games. They haven't really done anything new yet. But also, releasing on Switch today, or yesterday, I guess, Capcom Arcade Stadium, which is basically a compilation of some of Capcom's most beloved games. It's actually free to download, and it comes with 1942 some game like that. And then you can like buy games on the compilation, basically. But also, Ghost of Goblins is free from now until next week, I believe. So if you want to play Ghosts and Goblins, which is a highly revered game, for free on your Switch, go download that game on the eShop. I actually have it. I got it downloaded, so I'm going to check it out here. But yeah. So then Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse is being re-released for Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC on March 16th. I think this was a PS2 game. It looks really funny. It looks like basically Dead Rising, but instead of playing as a human, you play as a zombie. Like, it looks kind of cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like the tone of it. It kind of looks cool, but yeah, it's being remastered and it's coming out March 16th. No More Heroes finally got a date after it was delayed out of 2020. It's coming August 27th. We got a new trailer. It looks like more No More Heroes, so there you go. And then the one I think I was telling, actually, no, I think, yeah, I did tell you about this. Neon White was announced for Nintendo Switch. This is a game published by Annapurna, which is one of my favorite game publishers ever. Everything that they have published is just pure gold. And so this is basically, the tagline is become an assassin of demons in heaven in this first-person card battler coming to Nintendo Switch. So it's basically a less gory version of Doom, but also like with some card game stuff integrated in there. I thought the gameplay looked super sick, but you're just murdering demons, but instead of being in hell, you're in heaven. And looks really cool. It's supposed to come out this holiday.
Love killing demons.
Yeah. And then here's the interesting one. I don't know how this exists, but on June 4th, DC Superhero Girls Teen Power will release on the Nintendo Switch, where you play as superhero heroines like Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Batgirl as they go to high school and fight bad guys. This is literally, it looks like a game made for 10-year-olds. Of all the licensed games DC could make, they chose this one.
It honestly hurts me inside.
Like, go watch the trailer when you get a chance. It is something to behold, for sure. Oh,
Like, that's like a Barbie spoof almost.
No,
like
it
what
literally
the
looks
heck?
like it. Like, it's a cartoon art style, so it looks like something that is, like, being aired on, like, Cartoon Network or, like, Nick Jr. or something, like
on the website games, like the one you could just play in the HTML.
Yep, that's exactly what it looks like. Like, I don't know. That's coming. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for the Neighborville Complete Edition is coming to Switch March 19th.
Is it a new game or Plants vs Zombies, or is that like just Plants vs Zombies with all of the Plants vs Zombies stuff?
No, they actually came out with a third Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, but they gave
Whoa!
Yeah.
They made a second one of them?
Yeah, there was Garden Warfare 2, and then they came out with Battle for Neighborville. It actually launched in early access, and then everybody was like, this is kind of the same thing, and it kind of flopped. But yeah, they're putting it on Switch now. I don't think the other two are on Switch. I think this is the only Plants vs. Zombies.
I remember watching the first trailer with you of like the first one, and we were both thinking like, this is kind of weird.
The first two are really good. They're really fun. This one is just it's meh, but the Garden Warfare is great. It is a fun time. Like, it is genuine fun. Like, it is basically the multi-platform Splatoon. Like, it is a family-friendly shooter, and it's really fun. But also, the people that made Mario Kart Live Home Circuit are making a game with EA called Knockout City, which is a multiplayer dodgeball game that actually looks really, really cool. So I saw IGN did a preview, so we found out some more information afterwards, but there's a lot of really cool, like, button inputs. So if you have the ball, you can make it look like you're about to throw, but you actually are doing a fake out, and so you can catch the other team's balls, but you have to press the button in order to do it, and there's like a delay. Like, you can only like press it, you can't just like smash the button. So you fake out in order to get the person to press the catch button, and then you throw it later and hit them. And so, like, there's actually some really cool, like, strategy elements built in there that, like, make sense. Like, it's, as if you're playing real dodgeball, but it's also, like, balls to the wall, like, crazy, like, like a multiplayer game would be. It's not just, like, people in a gym throwing dodgeballs at each other. It's like you're wall running across the city and throwing dodgeballs at Mach speed or something, like, it's all crazy and stuff. But Yeah, I think they're actually doing a closed beta like next week, but that's coming sometime in the future. Um, World's End Club is a new game from the creators of Danganronpa and Zero Escape series, which is basically it's very similar to Danganronpa. It's a murder mystery game. It's coming in 2021. Got another trailer for Bravely Default 2. Saga Frontier Remastered got revealed. Got a new release date trailer for Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Apex Legends got a new trailer for Switch. And there's a physical edition for Hades coming out March 19th. It comes with a PC download code for the soundtrack and a 32-page character compendium. And am I going to shell out $40 for this $25 game that I already own on PC? Absolutely. And so, yeah, that's the Nintendo Direct. Here we are.
Finally, just 2 hours in.
Just under 2 hours in, and we still have 4 more news items and some other things to talk about afterwards.
Okay. So I kind of, if it's okay, can we skip to another future topic? So Amazon's MMO
For sure.
New World delayed to August 2021.
Uh-huh.
Because I was reading a little bit ahead in the we have like a document with all these talking points, and that was interesting to me because I thought I had just read an article that Amazon was shutting down their game studio.
No, it's Stadia.
Stadia did.
Well, I was only sort of wrong. They might actually, because this is the same game studio who has made 2 games that have failed. Amazon Luna, which how many of you guys even know what Amazon Luna is? It's a game streaming platform.
It almost had a worse launch than Stadia, in my opinion.
I think it definitely did. I mean, there's probably all of about 12 people who even know what it is. I honestly didn't know what it was until I was reading articles about it.
Like just now?
Yeah, because I was doing research so I could talk about this point without being like, oh, I thought they closed. Amazon Lumberyard, which was their game studio or was their game engine, that their whole shtick with their game engine was you had access to AWS, so you could just like super easily spin up multiplayer servers because you had access to Amazon servers. But yeah, it turns out that the company has made 2 complete and total failures of games. The staff there has apparently a very, very sexist work environment that just expels women completely from the studio, I guess. And what else were they saying?
Nice.
Oh yeah, management has no idea how to run this game studio. Basically, it costs Amazon $500+ million a year. Amazon pays $500 million a year for this.
To run this studio that has, let me see,
Made
1, 2,
2
3, 4
failed
canceled games.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just like sitting and just like
Just
sipping
burning
on
money.
like freaking mimosas and eating cheesecake, you know?
Well, shoot. There's
And not
this.
even programming.
There's this quote. I can't find it. I'm reading this Bloomberg article about it. They were the ones who broke the kind of like story on it. But they were talking about how like the game developers originally thought that they were in paradise. Amazon was paying close to double the market rate of these people's salary. Super flexible deadlines. Like, you need more time? Take more time. Basically complete creative freedom because no one from Amazon really cared. And they were like, this is great. It's amazing. We basically just do whatever we want. So from a developer standpoint, what would be the move? Except for the fact that you have to work for Amazon, which is apparently just as bad as every other.
That's because
not every
Jeff
other.
Bezos is the worst person on the planet, and I will stand by that.
At least he doesn't pretend like some other billionaires.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole reason that
he's the worst person.
the whole reason that I brought this up is because of all of the situations surrounding it. Like, New World is one that I'm definitely like keeping my eye on. Like, I don't even care that much for MMOs, but I definitely like keeping an eye on it because of much of like what you said. So like back in 2016, Amazon basically said, "Hey, we're going to get into the games industry, And so they revealed 3 games: Breakaway, Crucible, and New World. And then 2 years later, they said, yeah, Breakaway's canceled. And then back in October, they said, yeah, Crucible's canceled.
Well, no, they released Crucible for like 12 minutes and then unreleased it.
Yeah.
They brought it back into closed beta and then canceled it again. Like within a couple days, I think, because
Oh my god.
it was so terrible.
Mhm.
It was bad. And like they just got shit on because everyone was like, Amazon, this is a shitty game. And they were sorry. This is a crappy game. And Amazon was like, yeah, sorry about that, guys.
I think you can say shit, just no F-bombs.
You've dropped like 6 F-bombs in this.
I know, but like I try to keep them to a minimum, okay? Those are accidental F-bombs.
Accidents are okay.
Curse like a gosh darn sailor, alright?
So yeah, Breakaway was a failure, Crucible was a failure, and so this is the only other game they have left. And so, like,
Might be a
again,
failure.
Amazon doesn't really seem to care that much about this game studio, even though it's continuing to invest more and more into the game industry with Luna and Twitch and all these other, like, because if you don't,
Okay,
like, Amazon owns
makes
Twitch.
a butt ton of money.
Maybe
For
like
sure.
maybe Jeff Bezos, or I don't know if Jeff Bezos even knows that like Luna's going on. I don't know what he even knows what's going on, you know? But
Yeah.
but
That is very
I
true.
feel
Did
like
you-
his solution to fix things is just like, I'll throw more money at it and eventually it'll work.
Mhm.
Cause he can afford to, you know. He's never worried about like losing money.
That's a good
Like,
point. I mean, that
realistically.
man would like. I don't know. I was gonna say have to die to stop making money,
Like
but
he
would
could
still
spend
make
he could
money.
spend 30 years working on Luna and for it to be successful and barely lose any money.
Mhm.
I mean, in his lifetime he might
Like, for
not make a
Amazon?
good amount of money, but for Amazon in the future,
But also think about like the scale of Amazon. Like $500 million is a lot of money. It really is. But for like Amazon, like
It's just a drop in
I
the
feel like
bucket.
that can kind of like slip under the radar almost.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, the news story that he's referring to, it was originally supposed to come out in the spring, and then it got pushed back to August 31st. So we have a firm release date now, and it was apparently so that they could continue to
Yeah,
refine and
exactly.
add endgame content. So, yeah, it's apparently coming. We'll see. We'll see if it's even
We'll
good.
see.
I will
I'll wanna
believe it
play
when
it.
I see it.
Yeah.
I'll play it. If it releases, I'll play it.
If it
Well,
comes out,
There's a closed beta coming in, I believe, July, and if you pre-order the game, you get access to it. So I
I'm
didn't.
not doing that.
Well, here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
playing it until it comes out of closed
Here's the
beta.
thing. Here's the thing. If you pre-order on Amazon, you don't have to put any money down. So I pre-ordered it so I can get that closed beta key, and then as soon as I'm done with the beta, that is going away. And so that's what I'm doing. But
What if they ship you the key, and that's when they charge you?
well, here's the thing.
Or they like connected to your account.
It's bold of them to assume I have like $40-50 in my account for the game. Because as of right
It's a
now,
full
I
price
don't.
for it.
It's like you can charge it. I dare you.
Let me look it up. It's not
You
a
won't
60.
get anything.
It's not a $60 game, but it's like close. I think I can't remember if it's 40 or 50.
I think it's a 40 game.
Yeah, I think it's 40.
It's an expensive game.
I've always wondered that
Yeah,
though,
it's
like when
40.
people like just go into like just complete debt, like into just out of money, like what does the debt company do at that point? It's just
You
like I'm
declare
out of money,
bankruptcy,
like
bro. Basically, you declare bankruptcy and you're like, I have no money, and they're like, well, that's bad, and then you don't have to pay it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how bankruptcy works.
Because
that's
don't
pretty
because
lit.
hasn't Trump declared
Well-
bankruptcy like multiple times?
You don't
Yeah,
want to declare bankruptcy.
To avoid
though.
paying
Well,
taxes.
You didn't used to, but I hear nowadays, like if you know how to work the system, you can actually turn a bankruptcy into like a reset, like and actually like exploit it. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah, if
I know
you-
before.
If you do it all good and stuff, but like that's still not something that you really want to like
Of course.
do too often.
I'm just trying to say that because I will likely be filing for bankruptcy in the near future, so I'm just trying to give myself some
Yeah.
good news.
Give him some words of encouragement. Don't try and scare the boy.
Exactly.
Hey. Okay, moving on to the next topic too, because this one also confused me and I had to do research. So in the document, it says new Xbox wireless headset announced.
Oh, that's not
And
what I thought. You can read
I
it.
I was like, Xbox is getting a VR headset. There's no
Oh my
way I
gosh,
didn't hear about this. And then
Matthew, he died.
He's gone. He couldn't take it. But,
Reading section D
yeah,
of the outline,
he really
and
doesn't want
he's
to talk
like,
about Avengers. He really doesn't, and that's
"That's
okay.
fine though, because like that game sucks anyways. That's all I really have to talk about. Avengers is coming to the PS5 and Xbox, and it's terrible."
Listen. I have things to say about it. We'll eventually get to it. We'll talk about the Xbox thing, but it is not terrible. Campaign really good. Everything else dog shit. Anyway.
honestly, I'm not a big fan of the Marvel games. I really didn't have anything to say about that, but I did have stuff to say about the
Yeah.
other
No.
topic.
Go.
So I was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. Xbox.
um,
You thought it
but
was
yeah,
a VR headset. Found
I
out
thought it
you're
was a
just
VR
stupid.
headset, and then I saw an article that said, new Xbox headset, $100, $99. I was like, what? Well, it was also confusing. There was this like article coming up about Windows mixed reality headsets, and I was like, ooh, it's not. It's just a headset with like a microphone, like for your ears.
Over the ear.
It's what we're wearing right now. They're headphones. Yeah.
I'm not a very smart individual.
I know, Matt.
Yeah, so this is a wireless headset. It's $90 or $100. It is basically a direct competitor to the Pulse headset for the PS5. It does pretty much everything. And so, yeah, it's available for pre-order, although stock's really limited. I think they're sold out now at this point. But I believe it's coming out like March 16th or something like that. I think I've seen. Yeah, March 16th.
Something like that, yeah.
Now,
But yeah.
do you think that like we really just can't manufacture that many headphones, or do you think that they're just not making as many as they can?
I
It's a
think.
Scarcity.
Well, yeah.
It's a combination of the manufacturing facilities not being able to manufacture enough, and the logistics. Getting stuff shipped, especially from overseas, is super difficult.
And a panorama.
Yeah,
Like when
it's really
like
long.
trying to get electronics, like when we were selling them at Best Buy, it just trying to get stuff in general. It was just not working.
Well, with COVID, right? I mean, because
Well,
let's
that's
be
what
honest,
it is.
because
Panorama.
Sony said that they were going to ship more like they were predicting they were going to outsell the PS4 launch with the PS5. But
They probably could have.
yeah, they could have if they had the units. So you know that Sony was not intentionally making not enough units for demand. Like this is COVID. So that's what proved it to me right there, because they didn't meet the goal that they well, I mean they still have time because they technically have I think until April, right? So it could be still, but I don't think that they did as well as they hoped to, and that would be just because they didn't have the PS5s. And same
And
goes
I
for
think
Xbox.
it's also that they don't like make more money by having a short supply and having scalpers sell it, because the scalpers buy it for the same price as everyone else.
Exactly.
They just make less money because they have less of them to do. Now retailers like scalpers.
Yeah. But, so I mean, I think in the same vein, like I feel like part of it is the whole them trying to logistically calculate supply and demand, but also I mean, I feel like anybody that's manufacturing for the game industry is 87% focused on making Xboxes and PlayStations right now. And so in that same vein, it's like, I mean, hell, they made 100 billion dual senses because they're freaking everywhere. So I don't know what happened there, but other than that,
DualSenses are amazing though.
they are.
I love how like everybody bought a PS5 controller. Like they said they sold like way more PS5 controllers than they did consoles, which I mean I guess makes sense, but like also cracks me up because like I like the amount of people like the amount of like the percentage of people I know who have a PS5 controller who own a PS5 is a third of people who own a PS5.
Are you literally just talking about us?
I was thinking the same thing. The three of us.
Bakle, why do you try to sound smart when you're just
I
dumb?
know.
Because yeah, although the
I was
deal
gonna
with
say us. I was gonna get there. It was just gonna be fun with the
I was like,
numbers.
wait, how many people does he
Sound really
know who has a
smart.
PS5? And then when he said a third, I'm
Yeah.
like, he's literally just talking about us.
But to be
Yeah,
fair,
you were talking about numbers, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come in with an
I
antidote
know,
about
I
us,"
know,
and
I
then you were like,
know.
"I'm gonna do it." And I was like, "Okay."
I know.
uh, but yeah, my DualSense controller is like my main controller now. It's amazing.
Mhm.
I love the
I
thing.
I actually handy dandy.
No, I seriously
Sense
like
controller.
I use my Elite Series 2 controller for most of my PC gaming just because I don't want to deal with the hassle of like pairing my DualSense with the PC then back with the
Yeah, like
PlayStation.
no haptics and
Well, I literally like this is $180 controller, and I like the DualSense better. It feels better. It just responds like yes, there are some cool features here that the DualSense doesn't have, but the DualSense also has a bunch of features that the Elite Series 2 doesn't have. Like I don't really
the
care about this
DualSense
controller anymore.
the DualSense just needs to be more PC friendly. Like overall, definitely better controller. Like when you compare them like on the consoles, like the DualSense controller versus the Xbox controller, DualSense all the way. But like on a PC, they just don't have the like right drivers or compatibility on games that they should have for
Whoa,
like
whoa,
the
hold the
PlayStation
phone, hold the
controller.
phone,
Well,
hold the phone.
you remember,
Whoa, hold up. Where was the second sneeze?
I only got one, dude. Sorry.
All right, whatever. Continue, I guess.
I
Uh,
don't remember. This needs distracted me. Matt, go.
remember though, the Xbox controller is a first-party product on
Oh,
Windows 10.
well, I know. That's what also like makes it really good is because Windows like literally you turn it on like on pairing mode and Windows will detect that there's an
Yeah,
Xbox controller and you can just pair it up and it just
yeah.
works. And Steam also just has it and it works really well. And a lot of
Well,
games default to it, like
Windows has specific Xbox controller drivers built into it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
um, just to make it run better. Uh,
Well, then there's no drivers for that DualSense really, and there needs to be like PC drivers.
what was the DualShock 4 driver like utility thing
Dual
before?
dual.
I know what you're talking about because Bakle installed it on my home computer back home.
Didn't it just call
I
like
know.
DS4 or
I
something?
know. I think it is a DualShock 4. I feel like this was called DS4.
I think it's called like DS4 or something. Hang on, I'm gonna look it up.
Mm.
We're going on fucking tangents tonight,
Like I
boys.
said,
Windows
4
10.
hours.
It's 11 o'clock. I have
Uh,
to go to bed at a certain point here.
I
Yeah.
was thinking 10 or 11:30,
I
which
mean,
would give us another half.
we're pretty well into this. I feel like we'll be okay. We can do this. We can wrap up fairly soon.
DS4 Windows.
DS4 Windows.
DS4 Windows.
DS4 Windows.
That stands for
I remember
DualShock
that
4 Windows.
because I liked the PlayStation controller more than the Xbox controller. It's just I couldn't use it, and now I like just I'm so accustomed to Rocket League on the Xbox controller that I can't do anything else.
We need DS5 Windows, bro.
Or just DS Windows because it's called the DualSense now.
Or just Sony needs to make some gosh darn drivers.
Well, they came
That
out with
doesn't
drivers
sell
eventually
consoles.
for the DualShock 4, didn't they? I thought because it was compatible
No.
with Steam.
No, Steam just
No,
made their own
Steam
driver.
just made their own drivers because Steam's like, if you're not gonna do it, we'll do it,
Potato,
Yeah.
potato.
and that's why it kind of works on like the DualSense kind of works on Steam because it uses the DualShock 4 configuration still.
Mm-hmm. Get your crap together, Sony/Windows/whoever would be responsible for this.
Sony.
Gosh
Yeah.
darn software developers.
Gosh darn it. Anyway, I'm going to talk about this real quick. Marvel's Avengers, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S versions arriving in March 2021 with the Hawkeye expansion. Okay, Ratchet and Clank is coming June 11th. Okay.
Haha.
So, let's talk about the games coming this week. See, I told you we'd get through this. I would talk more in depth about Rift Apart. I'm really excited for that game. I started playing the first Ratchet and Clank game earlier this week. It's going to be really cool. PS5 exclusive. That's awesome. Curse of the Dead Gods is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC on Tuesday. You seek untold riches, eternal life, divine powers. It leads to this accursed temple, a seemingly infinite labyrinth of bottomless pits, deadly traps, and monsters. Action RPG. Persona 5 Strikers is coming out for PS4, Nintendo Switch, and PC on Tuesday as well. Join the Phantom Thieves and strike back against the corruption overtaking cities across Japan. A summer vacation with close friends takes a sudden turn as a distorted reality emerges. Reveal the truth and redeem the hearts of those imprisoned at the center of the crisis. It's a Muso game, but it's also a Persona 5 sequel. Okay, games we've been playing this week. See,
Wow, we did it. Holy cow.
I told you.
We just
Flew through that
doomed all of a
part,
sudden.
Yeah. I know how to get this.
I
know how
just
to...
felt like we were going through a portal. It was crazy.
Well, I knew there was very little you two could possibly do to divert us from that, so I'm like, all right, I know you can, but if I go
I
fast
definitely
enough, you
could.
couldn't.
Do you know?
Like, I saw you start
I
highlighting
couldn't-
stuff in Curse of the Dead Gods, and I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Oh, that's
Like,
just
shut up,
Lucas's-
Matt.
That's because Lucas. Oh, I broke stuff. That's because Lucas's cursor was there, and I was just messing.
Oh, that's
with
just
him.
from me, like, pressing and
I know.
swiping.
No, but see, I could do much better at diverting us because I don't actually really have anything to say about those topics. So we just talk about random stuff. and
Yeah,
then
Yeah,
you
like,
get
literally
really far off.
just go on
Yeah,
some
like,
random ass tangent. You'll be
Yeah,
like,
like, we couldn't-
speaking of Curse of the Dead Gods, there was this other completely unrelated video game I was thinking about the other day, and it made me start thinking about computers and how the Raspberry Pi is a really like weird system. And then you just go on about
Okay, to be fair, though, the Raspberry Pi is. Have you seen the Raspberry Pi Pico? It's $4. They made a computer. You can buy it for $4.
So I've been playing some Valheim this week, in case you didn't know. So I've been doing that. I started Little Nightmares 2. It's okay. I played some Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, which has the absolute worst dialogue I've ever seen in a game, but the gameplay's good. Godfall, it's okay. Overcooked, I played that on PS5. It's really fun. But I played it for the first time solo, and that game is not that fun when you're playing alone. And it's kind
We
of sad.
will play it this weekend then.
Yes. Let's do that.
Matt,
Yeah, play some Overcooked.
that's you too. Pay attention, bud.
But yeah.
I was not.
I also.
But I'm down.
I started playing. But I'm down. Doesn't know what we're talking about. But the Pathless, I started playing that on PS5. I think I'm gonna go for 100% once I finish up Spidey.
Do it.
I played Super Mario 3D World, like I said. Started Ratchet and Clank, like I said. Played some more Uncharted. I played some Smash with some buds. Bakle, what have you been playing this week?
Me, I'm playing Valheim, obviously. Good game.
Good game.
I play a little bit of Rocket League because, like, I always play freaking Rocket League. And then I also, since I got that Kishi, I've been playing some of that Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Wait,
And
you got that game?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. How do you like
I've been
it?
playing it. It's actually really good. I
Isn't
really
it?
like it. The narration, like narrators. I really
Mhm.
like. Matt was there watching them, like the opening with me because
Yeah.
I got
Mhm.
at work. And
It's
it's really
kinda fun.
fun.
It
And
is.
like
It's
being
really
able
fun.
to, and that Kishi though on my like having on my phone
Mhm.
is like really nice because it's like it's kind of like a switchy kind of type of game, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it
it
feels
is on
like Breath of
Switch.
the Wild. Oh, didn't know that.
Mhm.
But it feels like Breath of the Wild, but like I can also turn up the lighting effects all the way
Mhm.
because GeForce Now.
Mhm.
It's beautiful.
It's if
It's
Breath of the
beautiful.
Wild and Assassin's Creed Odyssey had a baby.
Yeah, honestly, that's what like the aesthetics of this game.
Yeah. But cool. Matt, what have you been playing?
Lots of Valheim. Lots
Mhm.
of Valheim. Probably too much Valheim. Minecraft, of course. Gotta get me some Minecraft build time in. Plus,
Mhm.
Caves and Cliffs Snapshot came out, fellas.
Did you go on it at all and look at things?
I did. Caves.
I haven't looked at it yet.
So the cliffs are pretty sick. They're gigantic because they increased the build height, the build limit. I think it's at 384 or something like that for like normally, but it can go up to
Jesus.
512. So like the cliffs.
That's like 200 taller.
Yeah, it's double the height. But like these fucking cliffs, dude.
Excellent
like, they look
analysis,
very
Bagel.
they look very similar to like how the cliffs look in the game already. They're just huge. They're enormous mountain. The mountains, they're huge. They're so cool.
Well,
Caves
like-
are enormous. Like they're enormous. I
I
didn't
think they're
really.
enormous.
No, they're enormous now. Like like there's still
But-
the
But how enormous are they?
big.
Like enormous big, or
okay.
less like big big?
They still have the original cave
What
generation
about
in the.
ginormous? Is that even a word?
I think so. But like, okay, so they still have the original cave generation in the game, and it looks like mining, like strip mining holes, poked into the wall
That's pretty cool.
because they're just way bigger.
I had to have to boot into Minecraft World and check it out.
I would. And then I gotta get me some Call of Duty Cold War and give me some first-person shooter action.
Oh yeah.
Makes
But that's
sense.
about it. Mostly just Valheim.
All right.
Valheim.
And with that, we made it through, guys.
We
We've
did it.
Done it.
3 hours.
We did
2
it, boys.
3 hours.
3 hours.
2
Wait,
hours and
only 2
15
hours.
minutes.
2 hours 15 minutes. Yeah.
I'm-
What?
That's not terrible, honestly.
It's not terrible for an hour-long podcast.
Especially when we zoom.
we.
Whoops. Sorry guys.
Sorry.
This is
guys.
why I don't come on here as much, because I do like 4 episodes when I come on here.
I was gonna say, I feel like if we did this again, we would have to set like a strict time limit to like keep us on track.
See, the
Get,
problem
like, a
is
shot
because like
collar.
I enjoy these conversations, and so I like having these discussions. But I also understand that it might not necessarily be all that like accessible for people who don't have this much time on their hands. So
Yeah, they're like, what are these guys even talking about?
Nothing. That's what we're talking about.
literally
Yeah.
nothing. Like none of this
But
needs
nothing.
to
Yeah,
happen right now.
no.
Like we could have
Yeah,
ended this.
Anytime you hear me talking, you
Yeah.
could just like get past it.
Just
Yeah,
to
like you
just
probably
not.
you probably shouldn't have listened to this podcast if you did, but if you did, good job.
Thank you.
More to you.
If you're
Yeah,
still listening,
congrats.
thank you.
And so I'm here to tell you that, as a reward for you making it all the way through, you get to have the fulfillment of watching the entire thing, which, bravo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. I was double checking, so I was kind of stalling for time. This is the longest episode we've ever done, because I know we've done close to 2 hour podcasts
Sorry,
before.
guys.
The next longest is Bakle and I's Cyberpunk 2077 episode, which was an hour and 50 minutes of us
Before
talking
that,
about
guess
Cyberpunk.
what?
Yep.
Was also me.
I'm a
Yep.
winner, bro. I
Yeah.
always go for the number 1 spot.
So we have succeeded by about 25-30 minutes, almost 30 minutes longer than that episode. So
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
but yeah, I enjoyed my time with you guys.
Oh,
Maybe we could do this again sometime. Like I said, I plan on playing plenty of Valheim.
Yeah,
I
you go
really
first
hate that
tonight.
Valheim and Valhalla happened like they came out really close to each other, because I have to like think about which one before I say it, and so it's
I don't-
like there's always a slowdown for me.
yeah,
I don't
we're in
even
this
play
we're in this
Valhalla.
awesome Viking like era right now, which is cool. Like we had God of War, I feel like, and kicked it off, and then ever since that, it's just been Viking.
I'm 100% down for it though. Vikings
Yeah.
is fun.
Cool as
Vikings are
heck.
really good. All right, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Bakle. This has been Game Patrol.
It's-
Do your thing.